It's a great career, man. I get to help a lot of people, help a lot of dogs, rehabilitate dogs that would be probably put down or, you know, insecure, unstable.
If you treat your significant other or loved one like a dog treats you when you walk in the house, like, you probably will be fine. Like, you'll be good. You'll have a good relationship, bro.
You know, so many parallels in dogs and people and behavior. We have a lot of things that, like, a lot of insecurities in dogs that people have. I decide whether I'm going to train the dog or you're going to train the dog. Right? Okay. If the dog is comfortable enough for me to train the dog, then we can train the dog. But I'd rather train you to train the dog because you live with the dog. Dogs are truth. Dogs can't go buy a Bentley and look rich. You know, like, you know that dog is fucked up. You know, based on his body language and how he's looking, like what he's going through. He's stressed out. He's not comfortable. He's stressed. You know, he's aggressive. Whatever it is. This person, they can put the Versace on. They can put all this stuff on. You really can't read through what's really going on. So that's the coolest. Dogs are like more truthful.
They're like innocent beings. Do you have a favorite dog?
Nope.
No?
I like good dogs. The world's a playground. Like, go live it up.
Before we get started, if you could do me one favor, if you have received any value out of this podcast, please take the time to like and subscribe to the show. My goal is to keep growing this podcast and bringing the most creative and talented humans in the world. And taking the time to like, subscribe, and comment allows me just to do that.
How you, man?
Good. Thanks for coming, bro. Your stuff is fascinating. In the sense of, I never really thought about dogs. Like, I had a lot of dogs growing up. I had 2 Great Danes. I had a Shih Tzu, and I have like a little mini poodle right now, like my family dog.
Gotcha.
And like they have their own personalities, right? And I just thought they are the way they are, and like you discipline them, maybe similar to like kids. And I didn't know they could be trained so well. Like the dogs that you say sit, heel, like obviously they're simple commands, but they do it better than any other training that I've seen.
Right. Well, it's doing it everywhere.
What do you mean?
What that means, they have to do it when.
Why do you have to do that? The
most distractions like that. Dog training is not dog training unless it's distractions, right? So the way we do it is, we pretty much make sure that we teach the dog.
So dog training is not dog training without distractions.
So it's not dog training without distractions.
Okay.
Meaning, if you just can get your dog to sit, that's cool. But what good is a sit if you can't have them sit while your friends come over? If they can't sit while you're trying to like cross the street.
Like, what's the point of it?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, they have to be able to. It has to be functional obedience, not just obedience because it has a treat and you're bribing it every time.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure that you create this pattern of communication where you have dependable obedience. You say it, you can count on it. You know.
Yeah.
Your dog can be very easy to live with, or it can be very difficult to live with because, essentially, this how they perceive you, and if they run all over you, then life's gonna be rough.
And you just let them do it.
Well, a lot of people do because they don't know what to do.
How did you think about these things about dogs, like these life experiences, the way you are articulating like the types of trained and untrained dogs right now? Just like you've definitely thought about it for a long period of time.
Well, I mean, the thing about dog training is, you know, this is something I've been doing since a kid.
Yeah.
So me just having dogs, it really is just kind of like a passionate thing that ended up like this is the standard of how I train my dogs.
Why have you started training dogs as a kid?
I just was into it, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, I just wasn't one of those kids who like did the typical stuff. Like, give me a dog book, give me an animal. That was the shit that kept my attention. Otherwise, I was going to be, you know, tearing up the class and doing a bunch of wild shit. You
said, I looked at your first dog was a Cocker Spaniel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How, so you just get a Cocker Spaniel one day and you're like, I want to teach you to do shit?
Well, no. Well, my mom, when I came home from the hospital as a baby, my mother and father had a flooring contracting company where they did like,
sick.
They did antiques and refinished floors in New York.
Sweet.
So if you didn't want your tools to get stolen in the 80s, you better have some dogs in your truck, right?
Yeah.
So we had Sheba and we have Sultan. And they were 2 dogs that, you know, my mom and my dad were just dog people. My grandmother was a breeder for bulldogs, right? So the shit runs deep, you know what I mean? But it ended up being dope because my mom just allowed me to always just explore with animals. And that kept my attention. It was just something that was from a kid. Cats, dogs, horses.
Everything.
Yeah. I'm like really, in domesticated animals. I'm not into like some of the reptiles and snakes because I can't read their body language. I don't know them. It's just not my thing.
Fuck snakes, bro.
Right. But you know, I don't take anything away.
Some girls love snakes though. And some guys too. I'm just like,
what's wrong with this girl?
Yeah, I was like, this ain't cool.
Yeah.
We don't fuck with snakes.
No, not snakes. And some people like lizards. Some people like, you know, iguanas and shit like that.
I don't like pet iguana. Did you hear about the pigs?
Yeah, I don't want to have a pig.
No, I know. There's pet pigs all over LA now, bro.
People doing all kind of weird shit.
I saw some fucking pig on a balcony the other day.
Yeah, I had a client try to have me train a pig.
No, fuck that.
But you have to. They start squealing if anything that goes wrong. Like, whoa.
Different than a bark, eh?
Oh, they're very sensitive.
Sensitive?
So, yeah,
so you've tried.
Of course I've tried.
Oh, you tried?
Yeah. They
How
put
was
up
that
one.
like? Did you get a pig to sit?
Well, I got a pig to like get on a place.
Okay.
And like stay in a place.
Oh, no way.
So that was cool.
That's it.
Yeah, that's all I was looking for. I mean, I didn't know what they expected.
Pigs don't sit.
They may. I mean, yeah, of course they sit. You just got to take the time to, get through all the squilling and all the insecurity.
That might be the new thing, dude. Pig training.
Yeah, they can keep that.
They can keep it? Dude, have you ever thought about like the evolution of like domestic dogs, like over time?
Oh man, I think they're gonna be what they're gonna be over the last couple 100 years.
Yeah, but like like I did some research on just like how dogs became dogs. Like their last ancestors were like the gray wolf, right? Mm-hmm. Have you ever looked into that at all?
Well, I dealt with hybrid dogs.
Hybrid dogs.
Those are pain in the ass because they're wolves. You know what I mean? They're not dogs. Dogs are meant to be led, where wolves are meant to be wild.
Yeah.
I trained a hybrid dog wolf one time. The damn dog jumped off the balcony of the owner's house, 2 stories down, the minute it got home, because it was just on his wolf shit and it ran into the forest and ran away.
You're lying.
Yeah, bro.
It's a crazy story.
I mean, he's trying to have a wolf. It's your fault, But it was super, they're just, I mean, you could do anything, but it's not really typical and it's not practical.
Yeah.
And it's really kind of a liability, honestly.
Are you a lover of making cocktails or work as a career or part-time bartender? If so, mix like a pro with A Bar Above. A Bar Above has the best mixing tools on the market, from shakers and strainers to mallets and ice picks. A Bar Above has you covered with all your cocktail needs. Use code BILTZ, BILTZ, for 10% off any order. Oh yeah, what's the craziest gory story that you've had with a dog, like liability with people, like not necessarily for yourself, but like you've heard, like you've probably been around a lot of dogs, bro?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. So there was a time when I competed, and then I would do what we call in dog sport. So they have like it's like Olympics type of event.
Is that what you run, wear the tie and jump the dog?
No. That's show dogs. This is where they do the bite work. So this is where they come down the field like 35 miles per hour. You gotta catch them and drive them and show the judges this dog is a strong dog, while the handler's like doing its obedience at a top level. Yeah. But
Josh said I'm not a show dog guy, bro.
No. We're working dog guy, man. Let me do this shit for real. But no, man, the goriest story, bro, was when I was doing a trial helper. A helper tryout, right, for the regional championship.
What does that mean?
The helper is the guy who gets bit. So you have to get selected to be the one who tests all the dogs. The judge picks you. So I was doing the tryout, and my mentor brought a dog out, a very, very strong dog, European Belgian Malinois, 100-pound dog named Cadiz, who had a bite history, right? And it was a really strong dog. My mentor was really happy that he just got this really good dog, and he knew eventually he would fix him and train him his way. But he didn't quite do it yet. Okay. So he brought him out a little prematurely. Okay. And when he came on the field, he loaded up so much that he turned up the leash and he started attacking my mentor. Loaded up the leash. What does he ran. He came up the leash. So he got loaded up, meaning like he got so fired up with adrenaline to come bite me that he like got frustrated and just turned up on my mentor Bob. And this is what he was known to do. So Bob kind of was like taking a risk, probably kind of jumping the gun on something that he didn't do. But so anyway, that ended up with his whole, you said gory, right? He had his whole tendon pulled out like a piece of spaghetti, like a thick piece of spaghetti.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I was right there. So when it happened, he turns to the so when you're on the field, you're responsible to help anybody who's getting bit by a dog because you have the equipment. Like so that was me. But I was all the way at the basically like you're at the 10-yard line and at the 10-yard line on the other opposite side.
So you got some sprinting practice.
So I got some sprinting practice, right? So I took on, so he had already bit Bob 3 times. So he bit Bob, boom, pulled his tendon out, boom, he's at this. So then Bob tries to like fight him off. When he fights him off, he swings something at him that he had in his hand and like hit his leg. So now he has a contusion on his leg. And then boom, dog bites him again. And then it was like one more bite before I got there, and then I was able to like kind of fend him off and then attract him to me, which I had the equipment, and then we were able to like contain him. But that was the time in my career early that I had to make a choice to say, is this what I'm going to do? And I ended up doing it. 15 years later, I'm still here.
That's because that would scare me, bro.
He was fucked up, man. Till this day, you can't even. If he does this, he can't even feel his pain. Like he feels no
his hand, no feeling.
His nerves are
damn, bro.
Yeah, and he wears like this protective arm thing now. That's just kind of like a.
So like when I hear that, I'm just like, I don't know if I ever want to have a extremely strong dog in the house because like that's what they're capable of.
This is true, bro. Somebody just got mauled in Compton. You heard about that?
I mean, I heard from your story, but I didn't look into it.
Yeah, no, it's serious, bro. Somebody got mauled by their own dogs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So yeah, I respect what I. This is why when I walk into people's houses, I don't just start petting the dogs. I'm Cali K9.
Yeah.
I don't do that because I know that I don't know who that dog is and how he's getting down in his house, and now I'm putting myself in harm's way. Until I see and read the dog and I can learn about the dog a little bit, give me 5 minutes to kind of read the dog, then I'll know if I can trust the dog.
I feel like it's kind of crazy that humans are just trusted that the dog will be trained. Like, oh, here's a dog, like, and you just have whatever you want to do with it type of deal.
Yeah.
Because there's so many dogs in shelters and shit, dude, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, could have those been prevented? Like I've had friends who they don't know how to take care of a dog properly and they had to give it away to like another friend, right? Or to a shelter. I'm just like, yo, like that's not cool.
Well, the novelty wears off.
Yeah, it's
a responsibility.
It becomes a responsibility.
You know, I have 2 children, but before I had children, I've always had dogs. And dogs were always kind of like, you got to take care of your dogs. Like, responsibility. You can't go out of town. You got to figure out what you're going to do with your dogs. Yeah. You can't just go out.
Because they ruin the house, bro.
Well, they'll tear shit up. They shit all over the place. You know what I mean? You have to take care of them. You have to water them, feed them. So it's responsibility, man. And a lot of people aren't very responsible. You know what I mean? They can barely take care of themselves.
Yeah. It's like, also, it's kind of funny. I feel like there's some people out here who are too responsible with their dogs, and they got these doggy hotels and shit that everyone's...
Yeah, well, I mean, somebody's cashing in on that.
Have you seen the pedicures and stuff on, like, TikTok and stuff of dogs?
Oh, yeah, man. I have partnerships. I have friends who have great, grooming salons and, like, literally, like...
How do you feel about those?
I mean, bro, hey... if they like it, I love it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? If the customers want it, then someone's got to supply it. Yeah. Someone's going to do it.
Yeah.
And some people, because they don't have kids, we're living in this new age where people aren't having children like that. Yeah. They're not getting married. They're not having children. So what do they have? They have dogs.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm always having a job.
Yeah, 100%. That's true, though. Yeah. That's like...
Because dogs are always going to be tearing shit up.
Yeah, it's like hair for barbers. Like, you got dogs.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but it's a great career, man. I get to help a lot of people, help a lot of dogs, rehabilitate dogs that would be probably put down or, insecure, unstable. Yeah. You make them confident. You make people confident.
Yeah. So Did you always want to do this? Like, when you were, like, 11 years old, when you said you were, like, training dogs, like, you're like, I'm going to be Cali K9.
You know what, man? I had pit bulls. Yeah. I had 3 pit bulls all through high school.
Okay.
So I knew I was gonna do something. Yeah. I thought I was gonna have this stud service, but eventually, unfortunately,
yeah.
Not me, of course, not me. My dog, but for my pit, Sinbad. But unfortunately, man, I lost my favorite dog, bro, at like 16.
And naturally?
No, I had to put him to sleep. Damn. Because he had already done a lot of damage in the neighborhood.
Oh, it's like that?
Yeah, one of those pit bulls. I was like from game lines, and it was like I was living with my mom, and one day he got out, he like busted through a whole board of the fence, just was totally missing, and the neighbor's dog was dead.
Fuck.
Right? And then I'm like, fuck, this is going to be a problem. They're going to probably try to come after my mom, blah, blah, blah. So I had to do the right thing because he had already done it a couple of times, and that kind of catapulted, my desire to like help people with these kind of dogs.
What's that feeling like?
Oh, bro, it sucks. It's like, especially if you're connected to dogs like me, bro. I really love my dogs. So, for me, I had to like go take him and put him to sleep. It was heartbreaking. Yeah. But
what's the feeling like in terms of because obviously it's in a neighborhood that you knew, that you grew up, that's like where you're raised, and like people hear about that story. Like that's not a good look, right? Or a good feeling. You're like, what do I do now?
Yeah. So I had to just make a responsible decision. It's like, you lost your dog. My dog did it. He's already, causing problems. This wasn't his first occurrence, so I had to make a responsible decision.
Yeah.
And
as a high schooler.
Yeah.
That's tough, bro.
Yeah,
Because
it was heavy.
I mean, like, you're relatively young, and it's like one of your best friends, probably.
Yeah.
Right?
You know what's crazy too, bro? I remember losing a cat. Because before I had dogs, my mom had let me have cats.
Okay. You're an animal guy.
Yeah. So I had a cat, man. I had a homeboy and homegrown, my Cocker Spaniels.
Okay.
But I had Crazy Cat. Crazy Cat, and I think they named the cat was Ninja or some shit like that. I think Crazy Cat died, man. Okay. I remember just getting on my bike and just riding. I was crying because my damn cat died, man. So I'm an animal guy, man.
Dude, people love their pets. Like, I don't with the medical stuff too. Like, vets be making more money than doctors out here, bro.
It's a whole compassion, companion, oxytocin, dopamine. It's just a whole lot of chemical shit going on in your brain when you have your dog. Like, you come home, your dog's not mad at you. He's always happy to see you. Yeah. It's not complaining, not bitching.
I used to say that a lot about, like, why I was like, if you treat your significant other or loved one like a dog treats you when you walk in the house, like, you probably will be fine. Like, you'll be good. You'll have a good relationship, bro. Yeah. Like, hey, hon, how you doing? Like, I love you. Like,
give her a hug. Go sit down. Let me rub your feet. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
the dog's like, hang out with me. Hang out with me.
And that's it. So again, there's a lot to learn from animals, bro. Yeah. There's a lot of parallels. So many parallels in dogs and people and behavior. Because I'm heavy into behavior, the behavior thing. It's like we have a lot of things that, like, a lot of insecurities in dogs that people have.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, you analyze those behaviors really well. Like, I saw a video that you did that you're like, oh, when the hair on the neck stands up, when the ears go back. I never really thought about that.
Yeah, it's body language.
Is that just from, like, your experience, or did you study it or anything like that?
Yeah, well, I mean, so my background comes from working dogs, right? So I'm working with dogs.
Can you define a working dog?
Yeah. So, like, police dogs, scent dogs, search and rescue dogs. Dogs that have a job. Yeah. So they're
so canines.
Canines. Yeah. But their job has to be absolute. It can't be, maybe it's gonna do it today, maybe it's gonna do it tomorrow. So they have to really so you start reading dogs, and then when you're working protection dogs, you can really see the confident dog, you can see the insecure dog, you can see the dog that's ready to run for the hills, you can see the dog that's gonna run right through you. So a lot of that, you read that, and then you read that in all other breeds. So when you deal with it on extreme drives, extreme prey drive, the extreme desire to chase, the extreme desires to eat, the extreme desires to bite, the extreme desires to flight, right? And then anything in between is like child's play.
It's easy. It's like after seeing the extremes of it. Yeah. Have you had any problems sleeping or snoring? If so, hostage tape could be your answer. Mouth taping and only nasal breathing has shown to prevent snoring and offset sleep apnea. It brings more oxygen to the brain, gives more aesthetically pleasing craniofacial features, and improves your overall cardiovascular health. Give it a try at www.hostagetape.com and use code NATE49486 for 10% off. Dude, how do they get these people, dogs to, like, I don't know, train so well to, like, sniff, like, drugs and all that stuff? Like,
it's easy, bro.
Easy? It seems like a superpower, bro. It's so confusing.
Well, the dog has, different senses, right? Sure. Your eyes aren't as strong. Their biggest thing is the nose. Okay. So out of all of the detection machines that they can make, they can't even make anything close to a dog's nose, right? So when you create scent discrimination and you create this desire for the reward, the dog knows how to figure out what he needs to figure out and give you a cue that gives him his reward.
So it would be like you smell this burger, right? And, like, the guy chases the dog chases the scent of a burger and you feed him a treat. Would that be
the dog, you're trying to get him to find burgers. Yeah. Right? So if he knows that's the kind of the home scent that he has to smell, then he'll go and then he'll look for that. Yeah. Right? And a lot of times when you're teaching it, you make the reward have burger in it. So now he's looking for the reward with the burger. Right? So really he's not looking for...
Okay, what about something that is not edible? Like we were talking about, like the drugs.
That's it. It's just the scent.
You give them drugs?
No. You put the scent of the drugs in the ball.
In the food. Okay.
You see, so they don't eat it. It's in the ball. So they want to play with the ball. So if they're trying to find their ball, they're trying to find the ball with the dope in it. You see what I mean?
So it's a game. It's like dope. A game. It's what they desire.
Yeah, and then when they find the dope, they go, oh, let me sit down. Let me identify it. Let me bark at it. Let me lay down. Let me do whatever cue it is. And then the handler throws the ball. Now the dog goes, oh, shit, I find it, I get ball. So that's kind of how you pair behavior with reward. And that's how the whole positive reinforcement training, it works.
Did you study psychology, bro?
Nah, bro, I learned from some PhDs and this shit. Yeah. And I just did it. I just been doing it.
Because it sounds similar to like human behavior.
It's all psychology, bro.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. There's so many parallels.
Yeah.
And because I work with so many animals, it's like people don't get to work with a whole lot of people that easy.
Sure.
Whereas like you work with dogs, so I have so many repetitions and seeing so many different dogs, and we've got like over 20,000 dogs in our program over the years. So for me, it's like shit's like clock. It's like it's easy, like second nature.
You've seen so much of it that most people have not seen at all.
Well, bro, it's just in me, bro. It's not on me. You know,
dude. There was a photo of you with your van.
Oh yeah,
and like the
Old
9
school.
dogs in front. What year was that?
2009.
2009.
Yeah,
and like that's how you started from a van
out the trunk, bro.
Out the trunk.
Yeah,
like
literally like from the street. Like
what was the beginning? Like you just had a sign that said dog training?
No. So the story goes like this. After graduating school, right, I wasn't like really hyped about going like college. Like I was into muscle cars, I was into like building Chevys and shit like that.
Sexy muscle cars, bro.
Thanks, bro. Thank you. So I was into that. You know, that was always like my thing.
Yeah.
I'm from Oakland, California, where we big on the heavy muscle cars.
Let's go.
Yeah. So you know, Bay boy.
Shouts out Oakland.
Yeah. So you know,
we're living in sunshine now.
Yes, exactly. Nice little LA, nice calm. I mean, you know, it's active down here
It's
too.
active.
The Bay is on one right now.
Yes, sir.
We must say this. But no, man, I took a direction. I was into dogs growing up as a passion. But then, man, I right before everybody got hip on weed, I got put onto the weed and the growing, the cultivation.
Yeah.
So by 19, I was like already
19, you were in it.
Yeah, I was in it.
Yeah.
I had a buddy who was a little older than me, and he was like, bro, we had the same dog, looked just like each other. And we became friends, and he lived like half a mile from the house.
Because you guys had the same dog?
We had the same dog, bro.
So you bonded over it?
We bonded. And dude was super cool. And he
it's
was
like
just,
guys who have the same car, they bond over it. It was that was your
it was
your
just
car
that
back
common
then.
denominator, right? So we became friends. He kind of took me as a little brother. One day he took me to his basement. And he had it all blown with all the lights and all this just bud everywhere. And I said, oh shit, this is crazy. Literally money growing on trees.
When's the first time you smoked?
Oh, 11.
11?
Yeah.
Damn. Before we continue, this episode is brought to you by Brute Fitness Seltzers. Get your full serving of BCAAs with the caffeine boost for your workouts or simple daily routines. Use code BILTS20 for 20% off your next order.
I grew up like around Rastafarian culture.
Sure.
So you know,
I don't even know what that means.
Rastafarian culture. So when you're talking about like Ja Rastafari, you know, like Rastas, they smoking spliffs. all day,
okay,
bro.
yeah. Spliffs are a different game, bro.
Yeah. So my mom, well, even if it's just weed, my mom was a photographer. Now she did skincare, so she's an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
she taught me. She's been
sounds
in
like your
skincare.
mom's a hustler too, bro.
She's a hustler, bro.
Yeah.
For sure. But she was also, her passion thing was photography, and she had like some my dad is a dread. You know what I mean? When she left, my dad we came to the Bay Area. You know, she dated a couple guys who were like in like reggae groups and stuff, and I was just around that kind of vibe, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Tree was everywhere.
Dang. So it's like normal thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean? It's just like marijuana and Rastafari is like, that's like,
they're
that's
together.
what it is.
Same thing.
Yeah. Like, you know, that's just part of, you know, the whole worshiping Jah, you know? So, you know, at the end of the day, man, that's my story on weed. But then I ended up, like I said, back to this real story, I ended up taking getting into the weed game, cultivation game.
Well, you were talking about how you went into the basement and you saw...
Yeah, I saw all the weed, and then I said I want in.
Just because you're like, money.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just like, all right, well, I mean, because I went to school for aviation, but I went to school in 9/11, so the industry was fucked.
Why did you want to study aviation?
Well, I went to aviation school because I was fucking with cars. So I ended up doing something.
Yeah.
Right? I was like, all right, fuck it. I thought one day I was going to take my muscle car on the tarmac. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just go do airplane school. Maybe one day I'll be able to take it out, you know, drag race on the tarmac. Plus, I was into motors and engines and all that type of shit systems. So I went to school, finished that up, but then 9/11 happened right when I started. I started school 9/10/2001. 9/11 happened the day after I started school in aviation.
Oh, but best best thing for you.
It was fucked. The industry was a wrap.
Yeah.
So for me, it was not, and I was still gonna do it.
In your head, like, well, you're like, what are you thinking at that point?
I'm just like, all right, well, but hopefully by the time school's done, shit will bounce back. I didn't know.
Yeah.
You know, I just like, whatever. I started it. And yeah, bro, by the time I finished school and everything, I just was just looking for a way to make some money. You know, I thought that like making money in a way where I wasn't harming anybody. And one time I watched this documentary and it was like a 5-day documentary on the History Channel. It talked about meth, it talked about heroin, it talked about cocaine, and then it talked about marijuana.
Okay.
And when I saw the marijuana one, I said, marijuana ain't hurt nobody.
Nobody. Yeah, but like at the time, it was like very illegal back then.
It was medical.
It was medical back then.
And in the Bay Area, you know, that's kind of where a lot of people are now. Now all the legal companies have their distro and everything out of Oakland. But in at the time, a lot of people doing the medical thing. So you would get your medical license from the doctor, and then you get to cultivate a certain amount of plants, and you can cultivate a certain amount of plants for extra people as a caregiver, right? And based on your county or your city, you're able to do a certain amount of plants.
Damn, you know your weed, bro.
Yeah. Then you had to learn pH balance. You had to learn all of the different, you know, you had to learn all the nutrients, and you had to learn, you know, the humidity and the CO2 and the airflow.
Were you just fascinated by that shit?
Bro, I was in the systems already, you know? And that's what's so cool about dog training, bringing it all the way back, because this is really a system.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So airplanes are a system, cars are systems. And then weed was a system.
What are you fascinated about systems? What do you like about them? And what do you mean by system first?
Well, when I say a system is just like a process to get from like A to Z.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it takes a bunch of things working together simultaneously in unison, in harmony to work, you know?
Yeah.
So,
like a car.
That's what it is. Cars.
Like, yeah.
Growing plants. You know, growing animals, a system of raising children, a system of running businesses.
Yeah, and there's always a successful system.
And then there's trash systems.
There's trash systems, and we know that we've seen trash systems because if you don't like the system, if you don't like the way the business is run, the car breaks down or this and that, like
something's wrong with the system.
Fucking bad system.
Yeah.
So why did you keep wanting to make the system better? I guess like for the weed process, trying to figure out like, how can I make this work to balance the pH levels to make like the best weed to sell it to make the most money? Like, is that where your head process was? Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm trying to make a living.
Yeah.
You know, it's like nothing's guaranteed. You got to make it happen. And for me, bro, I'm an entrepreneur at heart. Like I knew how to spell this shit when I was like 8 years old. Like I just knew, like I'm a hustler. I want. And see, the thing is, my mom kind of pressed me to be an entrepreneur. Right? She
really a lot of people, I guess, don't. I don't hear that a lot. How did she press you?
Well, she just, you know, I was growing up in a place like the Bay. You know, I'm single mother household. You know, only child, man of the house. You know what I mean? She's like, hey, I gotta make you tough. You know, I'm gonna teach you, hey, swim. You swim or you drown. Ride the bike, paddle or you fall. You know, go handle that client. Go talk to that adult. Go make it happen. Go figure it out.
She tell you that
Go
stuff?
get your ass in the bus. And when you get there, call me. You'll be all right. See what I mean? So it's like tough love.
Yeah.
But that's what it takes.
Yeah.
You gotta go through some shit to be tough because the life is hard. You know what I mean? If you're gonna be prepared to handle hard shit, you gotta be tough.
And you kind of were like made to do it. You're like, there's no other way. Like, especially if it's your mom when you're young, like, go figure out how to get from point A to point B. Like, physically, transportation-wise, like, you're like, where do I start?
I'm scared. I don't want to do this. I don't want to go over there. You know, that's the hood over there. I don't even know these people over there.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know what? You got to just survival of the fittest, bro.
Yeah.
And that's why sometimes I wonder, like, damn. Like, some people get raised in, like, totally sheltered environments. Like, you're raised in a place where it's just like, but I'm so grateful for, like, the Bay. And grateful for my upbringing and every part about it. You know what I mean?
Do you ever think about that with you and your kids in the sense of like all these tough situations that you've had have made you the man you are today? But like the kids that you have, like they're not growing up with those situations, with those hardships, you know? And do you think about that at all?
You teach them principles, you know, and you make it hard for them.
Yeah.
You know? You make it hard. You know? You have discipline.
I heard this quote the other day and it said, I'd rather have the lesson without the scars.
Yeah, but you're not going to really take it serious unless you get a scar.
So you get kind of like still make it hard for them in the sense of like they need to develop or to feel like
toughness.
Yeah.
You got to be tough. Men, women, everybody's got to be tough.
Why?
Because life is real. And you got to be able to adjust when shit gets real.
Pivot quick.
And you can't go crumbling down and not, you know, survival of the fittest. Especially entrepreneur, bro. You know?
Yeah, be resilient.
Gotta be resilient, bro.
What do you call it? So when the plane crashes for 9/11 and you're out of aviation school, like how do you get back to Cali K9? Like to that photo. Like I'm trying to figure out how do you get to that.
Oh, back to the photo. So basically, long story short, bro, I said, okay, I gotta figure something out. I'm going to go ahead and just go. I figured I had a buddy who got me into Southwest Airlines.
Okay, what do you mean got you in Southwest?
To work in Southwest. I was throwing bags at Southwest Airlines as I was going to school.
In college?
Well, I was going to aviation trade school.
Trade school, okay.
So I go work for Southwest. I'm throwing bags for a while. It's cool. I get cool with all the maintenance people. I'm a networker, you know. I'm a people person.
Yeah.
So I get cool with everybody in the maintenance. I get the apprenticeship, right? I didn't get the apprenticeship. I got into the union. They said they allowed me to transfer early.
Yeah.
Before I could to go to work as a maintenance as a airplane cleaner tech.
Okay.
That puts me in the same union as the mechanics.
Okay.
So I'm going to school, getting my license, perfect job, everything's cool. I go to Chicago. I meet my manager. We hit it off. He smokes weed, I smoke weed. Right.
For the union job.
For the union job.
Yeah.
So we go meet in Dallas for training, and then I go party like I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
Little did I know the whole hotel was all Southwest employees. So I'm in there watching Dave Chappelle, smoking weed in the room, thinking I'm literally on vacation, bro.
Wow.
I get a call. This is my, housekeeper, whatever. They investigate. Basically, I blew off the whole shit. It was around. I told Southwest go. I was supposed to go to the apprenticeship in Dallas, get a $25 an hour job, end up getting into this union and be able to fix airplanes for life. Whole dream just gone. I say send my ass back. I had already moved to Chicago for the job.
Oh, you're lying.
So I had to get back.
And this is like not even day one yet.
Bro, I was and then not to mention I was throwing bags this whole time. So anyway, I had to figure it out. I had to come back to Cali. As I'm coming back to Cali, like, fuck that. Fuck a job. I want to be an entrepreneur anyway.
Yeah. Because they can't determine, like, if you stop.
Well, no, they told me that I had to resign. And they said they weren't going to put it they weren't going to basically say that they were firing me because they didn't want to fuck up my career as a mechanic who smokes weed.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway, we end up coming back.
You got fired for smoking weed.
I resigned.
You resigned. Politely.
I resigned. I volunteer resigned. So they send me back. As I'm coming back on the airplane, I'm saying, what the fuck am I gonna do? I was like, all right, I'm in the car still, so let's go and start Savage Wheels. So I started a wheel and tire company back when everybody had big rims and shit.
Yeah.
I don't know, how old are you?
27.
Okay, bro, you missed the whole era of chrome rims and 26s.
I saw a few of them. I really like Fast and Furious early ones.
Right. So that was a whole culture, especially in the hood. Like that, everybody had big ass rims on their cars. So I said, perfect, I'm gonna get into this.
Sure.
So I started detailing cars and doing that, and then I ended up getting into the weed when I figured out how to grow weed. So fast forward, get into growing weed. I had to get dogs for security because I couldn't have guns. So I had to have the dogs. Because if I had guns and weed and cash, it's just a bad story. I'm going to jail. Right?
So you thought about all of these.
All of these things. I've always been very strategic in my approach.
Oh, I love it.
So then we ended up...
for the best system.
Yeah. I end up figuring out, exactly. I got a little warehouse. The place where I was detailing cars, shut the doors on that. Let up the lights.
Yeah.
Turned the lights on. We lighting up tree. Made my first like 20 grand.
Yeah.
In one sitting, like after 3 months. Boom.
Wow.
I mean 19, like, oh shit.
19.
Got 20K.
19.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay, it's cool. I can get used to this shit. But remember, I'm in a very volatile area, and at the time, anybody who had a quarter pound of weed had a lot of weed.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like 10 pounds.
Wow.
Or 5, 6 pounds, or 8 pounds. Still at the time.
19 years old.
19 years old.
That's dope.
So I said, all right, man. Well, but then, my mom wasn't feeling it. Right? She
wasn't feeling the weed.
Yeah, because I told her, I was like, yeah, I'm doing medical. I'm a medical. I'm a compassionate caregiver.
You told me to do business and entrepreneurship.
Yeah. No, she said, yeah, you saw me doing this, you're a fucking dope boy. So I felt a certain kind of way. And I knew, I was like, you know what? I was like, man, you know what? This is not sustainable. I was like, this shit could get hairy.
Yeah.
And I know people getting caught up in shit. So I just was like, you know what? I took on a job. I went broke with the weed one year.
What do you mean you went broke?
Everything went bad.
Like
all
the
my
weed
crops,
went bad.
because you got to grow this weed to come out nice, and it wasn't coming out nice. I had all these problems, and it just shit was hitting the fan.
So what makes how do you take care of the best weed plant?
Bro, you have to be on top of that shit.
Yeah.
Like
I know nothing about
5 minutes, bro. You'll have root rot, you'll have mold, you'll have mildew, you'll have spider mites, you'll have light burning, you'll have, you know, you can have light interruption. That'll totally like take your shit from like a vegetative state to like back into a flower state, back to a vegetative. It fucks everything. So basically, I had a 6-month run where I made no money.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you know what? I'm tired of this shit anyway. And that's when I got into the dogs. And I said, you know what? I'm about to go serious with this dog shit. And at the time, I was still like doing it, and I was starting to like learn and train. I was getting a little serious because I had the dogs and I needed to be for protection. So I was training for protection with a local trainer in Oakland. And, you know, basically, bro, just like one thing led to the other. Eventually, I was like, you know what? I had talked to my football coach who offered me a job. Yeah. Right in the middle of me growing weed. And when he offered me the job, that's when the Ed Hardy was popping. I had the $700 shades.
Let's go.
Expensive ass jeans. I was, you know, LRG was fly as shit, right? Yeah. Then the next year, it's like, oh, fuck. Like, shit hit the fan. So my coach at the time, like the year before, said, hey, man, I think you'd be great to, like, come work for me, bro. You got great personality. I think that. Nah, coach, I'm making money. I'm good. Next year, coach, still got that job? So he ended up being in Washington. My buddy Jeremiah, real good buddy of mine, was already working there. He's like, bro, just come up here. I go up there. And I leave up from Oakland to Washington. So I went to Washington for a year. And I ended up immediately meeting my mentors. Because I was really heavy into the dog training. And he showed me how to monetize it, bro. Yeah. You know, I took all this shit that I learned from the street training, and then I learned all this shit from the the PhDs. There was all these other mentors. Yeah. Like the minute I left the Bay Area and went up to Washington, it was like everything kind of opened up. Really? Yeah, and it was just like, here's your new lane. And then when the recession happened in 2008, I got laid off. And I was like, I was working for my coach.
Okay. Doing what?
I was a lighting manufacturer rep, project manager. Some bullshit at a desk. Yeah. And the whole time I'm listening to like podcasts on different dog training shit. I was like, I was like into this dog shit. And then I ended up getting laid off, and I haven't looked back since. I haven't had a job since. So I guess like how did you like, what's that photo, I guess? Like how did you promote it? Like there's the biggest thing with like photo, go ahead. That photo. So what I did was I bought a $1,000 van. First I had a $2,000 little truck that I bought. Okay. Right. It literally was from the ground up, bro. From like the ground. From literally $0 to millions. Okay. Right? Yeah. Literally. Oh, but like, that was a time where it was like, all right, I sold a package for $2K. I got a little Astro van. I'd, ride around my Astro van, pull up to all these different places to come train dogs and, go to dog parks, pass out flyers, all that type of shit. Yeah. And that was that van. The van was just me running my little class with my little banner on the shit. It was just some, day one shit. Yeah. And that's literally how I started. I pulled out shit out the garbage can to create my first agility equipment. Oh, and then I built community around the concept of dog training. So I had a whole little core group of people who would follow me everywhere. We do these group classes, and I do them out and about, and people would see me doing them, and they're all these really well trained. What I did was I took all the shit from the high level training and I gave it to the regular people. Because everybody needed it. And I'm like, high level people, they don't want to pay, right? They want to do it at a club, and they want you to just run around.
They want to.
What's that?
They want to. They want to pay for it, and they want
to. The regular people do, because the regular people have problems. The high level people, they buy a perfect expensive dog that has no problems. Oh yeah. So I took all the shit that I learned from there, and then brought it to the people, and then learned how to monetize it, and then basically just built Cali K9 from the ground.
That's crazy. And from that photo, I guess, to making a living doing Cali K9 and like doing well at it. What's the time frame between that?
So I've been in the game 15 years.
No, just between like those, like from knowing that you could like be okay, like not worry about things.
Oh, you know okay. So what I did was I had no backup plan. When I got laid off, I brought my little printed flyer to my boss. It was like, if you know anybody who needs a dog train, tap in with me. Yeah. And I built my little website, little free website thing they had online. And then I met this girl who knew how to run ads on Craigslist. You know what I mean? So I was just running ads on Craigslist. And then I started my little first Yelp account, back in like 2009. And I knew it was all about reviews. And I knew it was all about content early. And I took advantage of social media early because I knew it was like a free way, like put my shit out there. People will see me if I put out, like, why share what I'm doing for the day? It was like, no, share this business. You know what I mean? Like, let's make some money. So I looked at it like that, even though social media should be a little bit of a combination of the two. You don't want to make it all business, but for me, I looked at it as like a free outlet, and that was my thing. Is I just
Well, it's free marketing, right?
Yeah.
And I haven't really thought about that until like this year. I was just like, oh, like what you put out, it's like how you market yourself. And if that's just like your life on a vacation or this and that, or is it like what you're working on, the training, the podcast, this and that, blah, blah, blah. It's like people see it.
People want to see it. And if they follow you, they want to see everything about you. You know what I mean? They want to dive deep. So it's perfect.
Yeah.
If you're good on camera, man. It's really like building personal brands now and all that kind of shit is like, that's the name of the game.
Yeah.
And teaching people. Because now that there was a time, like, I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I knew that there was no guarantee in college. You know, and I think now we're at a place where, like, now...
If you guys don't know, like, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, there was this guy, he had a poor dad that they called who was very educated, and he didn't have a lot of money, and it was his actual dad. And then he had a rich dad, they called it, as, like, a friend's dad, his best friend's dad, who, like, didn't go to college but was very business savvy and knew a lot about real estate, and they had, like, a really good quality of life. And so Jas is saying that, like, he read this book and then...
And I read that book twice. See, my senior year, my Mr. Omid was I went on independent study. So I started making money, I was burning CDs, right? And I was making money burning CDs.
You're one of those guys just passing them out?
No, fuck that. I was selling for $8.
Whole $8, not whatever you want. $1, please. $1.
No,
He was like, that's 800% more than most people, bro.
Exactly. So I was like, I got infatuated with like hustling early, you know? But no, man, back to the Rich Dad Poor Dad. Where did we go right before that?
You were talking about business and entrepreneurship, and you were talking about that's the first book that you read because I don't know, real estate, business.
Let me see. I always just knew, bro, I had to have a B quadrant business. You read a book, you have, you could be earned income where you work for money. You have self-employed where you actually own a job, and then you have a business. Yeah. And business is where you have other people work for you, and you're able to make money. And then you have investor, where you're able to work your money work for you. So that was pretty much like the mindset I had, and that's why I came into the dogs with the whole thing. Like, okay, I love what I do, but let me learn how to monetize it.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who think the self-employment is business, but then you realize that like for me, I'm kind of in that phase right now in the sense of like, oh, like I have my own business, but on Tuesday I had 9 clients straight and I'm exhausted.
Yeah, you still have to market, you still have to follow up, you still have to, so
no, that's what I'm saying. It's just like I'm working 9 hours straight.
Yes,
but like
you own the job.
I own the job. I could just, but it's not like necessarily other people doing every like certain things for you and stuff like that.
Well, business is leveraging people and leveraging other things.
Yeah.
Like,
What does entrepreneurship mean to you?
Freedom.
Why?
Because essentially, like, money is just a means of transfer. Like, you know what I mean? It's not necessarily like, oh, I got all this money. Like, what does that mean? Yeah. Like, what does money do for you? Does money allow you to pick your kids up from school? Does money allow you to go take an extra long vacation? Does it allow you to, wake up or have your team able to do things while you're able to, give your energy and your time versus being, because I mean, you're working for clients, man. You're theirs. Yeah. You know what I mean? So freedom means you're yours. You see what I mean? So although I love business, although I love hustling, I love everything about it, I like having the freedom to do it how I want to do it. Yeah. So, and I think it's a game, bro.
There's also a lot of people with money though who aren't happy, right?
Yeah. So I think it's the hustle, bro. It's the hustle that keeps you going. So that's what I'm saying. Like being like a trust fund baby, I feel like that's kind of like a little bit of it's a beautiful thing, but that's what I'm saying. If your dad made it tough for you, and then you learn how to be tough, then he gave you money, then you're like, okay, I know how to be tough. But
because that's what I think the generational wealth is from. It's not from like the transferring of money, like from generation to generation. It's a transfer of like the knowledge because you know what to do with that money, right?
Yeah, and that's where the whole Rich Dad Poor Dad thing comes in too. That's financial literacy.
Yeah. What inspired you to read that?
Mr. Omid, he was just like, bro, this shit you're learning in school is not gonna help you. Yeah, he gave me the game, and he said, man, fuck this economics book, fuck this, read that. Yeah. And then I read it, and then I read it again when I was in trade school. I was like, I'm about to open this hot dog stand. I'm about to make all the hot dogs.
So you'll always be thinking about it.
Oh,
like,
bro,
what's the next move?
I'm obsessed about, like,
Do you treat it like a game?
I do. I love it. I definitely play it like a game. And you have ups and downs, you have wins and losses, but you try to stack more W's.
Yeah. And it's like, because it sounds like you like all type of business.
Yeah.
Like you're talking about real estate right before.
I mean, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I mean, I've been in business 15 years with this, and then I do real estate too. I mean, I buy houses, I buy land, I develop land. But
how do you balance everything?
Bro, I just go. Just go button. You know, I got a good wife, got a good foundation. I got some, I don't know, man, a lot of drive. Yeah. And I just go. You know what I mean? You learn lessons along the way. You just gotta go.
There's a lot of people who talk about how, like, oh, when I do this, like, I can rest and, like, enjoy the fruits of my labor and shit like that. No. Why?
You still gotta hustle, bro. Still, because you, like, something's, if you're meant to hustle.
Like, do you?
Do I rest?
No, do you need to stop hustling?
I mean, I love to hustle, bro.
Yeah. That's the thing. I feel like you just love it.
Yeah, that's just who I am.
Yeah.
You know, so if it feeds me, it feeds my.
What do you like about it? Because
it's winning, bro. It's winning, bro. It's competition. Yeah. I mean, I'm a 3-sport. I played 3-sport. I wrestled, football, track. I did karate. I did, a lot of it. Different shit. So I like to compete. And I just like doing what I like, bro. I like to just be happy, enjoying what the hell, doing what I want. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just a freedom to that. And it's a freedom, is like what they say, like getting out of the matrix. You know? Like, I literally feel like I've been, like all this Andrew Tate shit he's been talking, like I've always been working on it. And now again, certain people are like, go super duper hard for the money. Yeah. And then some people go super duper hard for just the shit that makes them happy. And it's like, you don't have to like be like OD with business where it's like, you know what I mean? But as you develop business, you kind of want to go OD because you're like, it gets fun.
What's your definition of happiness?
Definition of happiness is just having the freedom to do what I want when I want to do it.
That's such a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's when I thought about my definition of success a while ago, it was like doing what I want to do when I want to do it with the people who I want to do it with.
With the people too, yeah.
Yeah, because like at the end of the day, bro, the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your relationships, right? Like it doesn't matter how much money you have if you and your significant other are fighting, or you and your family.
Nothing matters, bro. Hey, when there's beef at the house and when the family feuds, nobody wins, bro. Yeah. So you definitely want to make sure all of that. Like you have to win in all departments, though. Yeah. You know what I mean? I feel like when you have a balance of winning, like your balance, like your family's tight, your people are tight. You know,
what's your priority nowadays?
Man, my children, bro. Yeah.
In terms of that balance, like you said, all those wins. Like, what win is like in that order? Like, is it what I'm saying?
You know, number one, man, you gotta stay grounded with God, right? You gotta stay grounded with your other, right? Your significant other, because that ultimately that's not cool. Yeah. The family's not, you know what I mean? It just, you come from a broken household, it's all, you know what I mean? That's just gonna be problematic. You know what I mean? That's problem. Your household is broken, it's problematic.
No details, you guys got it.
Right? So, and you want to make sure that, like, health, you're winning in health. You're winning in
yeah, you've been on your workout grind right now, bro.
I try to do a little something, man. Yeah. The thing is, man, it's like you're a product of your environment. Yeah. So growing up, a lot of my buddies were like heavy into it, into working out and shit like that. But now it's like even my business buddies, man, they're all like counting macros and they're just like serious about the fitness. But I think fitness, man, it like it's a direct correlation with what's wealth without health. Yeah.
You can't do anything. I mean, I definitely have some clients out there who are very well off monetarily, but when they go on a vacation with their kids, like they can't walk up a mountain with them and see the nice view.
Yeah, and then they hate their body. Yeah, or they're quietly unhappy.
Sure.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. That's where it's like off balance. Right.
I treat fitness in terms of like if you could do this really hard workout, like a lot of the times, like I compare it to like the Excel sheet to learn how to monetize X, Y, and Z for the business doesn't seem that hard. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's like you just lifted this fucking heavy ass weight and you're like really struggling to do it physically. Like this simple thing on a computer, you can figure it out.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Well, again, you got to work multiple muscles.
Yeah. What's your favorite muscle to work out?
To work out? I don't know, man. I think just like chest and just
chest.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm on like physique shit. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I mean,
What's your favorite movements right now?
Movements? As far as like working out?
Yeah.
I do the little incline and burpees.
You like burpees?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Burpees are solid.
Dude, burpees are slept on.
Burpees are slept on. It's super full. It's cardio. You bouncing up. Yeah. Push-ups, core. Burpees are the shit. And the thing was happening with burpees, bro, a lot of guys who go to the pen, they have to do burpees because you only have so much space to work out.
Oh, for sure.
But you can get a hell of a workout with burpees.
I have a few boys who were in the military, and like they didn't have a lot of gyms at some places where they're at. Jacked, absolutely jacked. Burpees every day.
Burpees.
200 burpees a day.
Yeah.
Like, just imagine doing 200 burpees straight every single day. Like,
no,
if you guys do 50 burpees straight, maybe even 20, bro, 20, you're gassed.
20.
Jas is like 20,
you gotta
bro.
do 20, and you gotta do like 5 sets of 20, 10 sets if you're really about that life.
Damn.
Like, honestly, bro, I feel like sometimes I'm like, I could do better. And I think that's like another thing. Like,
well, I feel like if you have that feeling, then you definitely can, because you've thought about that with the businesses and stuff, and you made the businesses better. You could definitely do it with fitness.
Everything is constant improvement. Bro.
Yeah, it's like baby steps too, bro. Because like you know that it's not the best version of yourself, or you know that it's not the best version of the business, and it doesn't matter what anyone else does, because like at night I'm like, how can I make the training business better, or the podcast stuff, and like it's just in my head. I write down lists, and like you got to cross this out and this out and this out, and no one cares, bro, besides me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And for you, no one cares besides you for the fitness stuff. Like your wife will still love you, your kids will still love you, your dogs will still love you.
You just gotta not be content with settling. You know, strive for greatness. You know,
where do you think that comes from? Because I've seen people who aren't like that, and I love people who are, because like I could relate with them.
You know, bro, I think it really comes down to like your tribe. You know, and the people who like, you know, running with like high performance people.
Run with wolves.
Yeah. And I think you can easily be content, and, you know, you could be the best. You could be a big fish in a small pond, or you could be, you know, a smaller fish in a big pond that can get big. You know, so I believe in kind of that theory.
Yeah.
Right? You got to make sure that
How do you get into those ponds?
You just got to be a cool motherfucker, man.
How do you become a cool motherfucker?
Just be cool. Like, don't, you know, you gotta like cool. I mean, of course everybody has their ego, but you gotta, I don't know, man, it's something about just getting along, being a people's person, and just, you know, like hustling hard. Like, of course you have to be that person. Yeah. Right? So anybody who looks at you can say, okay, is he hustling? Or is he working out? Is he this and that? Is he disciplined? Da da da. You know, so that's the common denominator with a lot of these dudes. And then I think, man, a lot of dudes are like on the same page. You know, it just comes down to like who's got that work ethic. And not everybody's a dog. You know, when I say a dog, it's like, you know, who's really ready to go hard? Who's going to go put in 16 hours? Who's going to really push themselves to that level? Who's going to push themselves to discomfort? Who's going to sacrifice, you know, all the shit? Yeah, you know, like a lot of kids went to college and doing shit like that. I was struggling entrepreneurship. I started Cali K9 at 26.
That's wild.
You know what I mean? Whereas a lot of people were just trying to like get into their corporate job or get into whatever it is, and they're hanging out with the buddies and, you know, doing these things that were, you know, cool, but they're like employee mindset, like sheep mindset versus like wolf mindset.
Did it ever feel like were there nights where you were working on it and you feel like this would never work out, or did you always have that mindset of like, oh, I'm gonna figure this shit out?
Too confident, bro.
Too confident? Where do you develop that confidence though? Because in my opinion, confidence is built from having like an undeniable stack of proof that you are who you say you are, right? Not just screaming affirmations in the mirror saying like, I'm a successful business guy. I'm a successful business guy. I'm a successful business guy. You know?
It's just hard, bro. Like I was the littlest kid on the football team.
Yeah.
Like I was 103 pounds in high school.
Damn.
And I still go head up with the
Damn, 103 pounds in high school, bro. You're tiny.
I wrestled 112, 113.
That makes sense.
Right?
You went in on that wrestling.
And you go head up on those cats in the football field. You know what I mean? You go into that tackle drill. Yeah. Where it's saying like it's you against him. Yeah. And ain't no backing out. You know what I mean? And it's those shit like that, bro. It's like that's what I'm saying, build toughness. Like something about toughness and like pushing yourself and like, you know, getting to that place where you're actually scared and you get through it. Yeah. That shit builds toughness, bro. Yeah. And then once you got it, you just got like, oh man.
How do you feel about like, I don't know, like the last few years of the fuck masculinity like culture? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, bro. I mean, you know, that's what they on. You know, I mean, for me, bro, there's a lot going on in Hollywood and a lot going on with agendas. Yeah. So for me, bro, I'm a worldly guy. You know, I'm not just an American guy. I'm a worldly guy. So I look back at ancient, you know, Asian cultures and ancient Arab culture and African cultures, and there's certain ways that shit was done. All this new shit is thousands of years of doing things to do a certain way, and all of a sudden now they're gonna try to like
maybe more than thousands, bro. Maybe hundreds of thousands.
And that's the thing, bro. So I'm not gonna buy into it, you know. And you don't have to buy it. Like when you have to go to this corporate job and you can't speak a certain way, and you have to, that's where it's like for me, it's kind of scary. I get to be my organic, authentic self. Even all my Netflix show, bro. It's like there was nothing non-organic about that. Yeah. It's just me.
It was you.
So I think that's the name of the game, bro. Yeah. And for me, like, I grew up in a place where, you had to, I got a backbone. Yeah. I'm not going to get bullied. I'm not going to, you know what I mean? So it's just, and I think that, a lot of people grow up kind of getting used to being bullied. And then it's just like, again, and they have, a lot of different movements going on, man. So I just, like I said, my plan is to be worldly.
Keep doing me.
Keep doing me, man. Be worldly. Whatever's going on in this country.
What's your advice for, I guess, like the people who are in that corporate job, who are doing all these things and they are like in it, and like they have bosses who can like determine the culture and this and that and blah blah blah?
I mean, sometimes you got to play two faces. Yeah. You got to know how to manipulate the game.
That's what I was saying too. I had this barback who was working with me at bar next door, and like, she didn't get along with some people, and she was like, she always speaks her mind. I was like, yo, if you want the job, if you want to be promoted, like, you just have to play the game. Yeah. You have to do the right things. You have to do the job that you're described to do properly. And if you do that 100% and nothing else, like, you don't need to do the extra of this and that, blah, blah. Do the job that you were described to do 100%, like, you'll get it. You know, like, you don't need to believe the way, like, the philosophy of how they make cocktails or this and that. You know your own way. You know that you know your philosophies, but like, you're not in your own game.
Right. And that means you have to play by other people's rules.
Yes, sir.
So that's not freedom.
Yeah.
When you're free, you do what the fuck you want.
I've never heard of entrepreneurship like you treat it as freedom. That's crazy. That's a good analogy.
Because the thing is, some people are like literally striving to like get a million supercars. They want the biggest mansion. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, what about just having like something that's like not knock? I mean, but see, some people put a lot of strain on them, so it pushes them harder. I say buy a lot of shit, so they like living in like, I don't have this fearful state. But then there's also like this place of like, why do I want to be so pressured? Why not? Like, I could buy this house, but how about I go a little lower, right? So then I can move around and have maybe two houses, or I'll be able to have more time to travel and not be such a slave to trying to like to things. Yeah. Because I think a lot of people are using things to compensate for like their inefficiencies. Where if if you're that person, you don't necessarily need these things. Like, I love things, but it's not my identity.
Like, if you have the money, it's easier to buy a nice car to make you feel good about yourself than work out.
Right. Exactly. But you should be working out and then like go. I mean, there's nothing wrong with buying a nice car.
Oh yeah, no.
There's nothing wrong.
If that's like what you're trying to get your status from, or your good feeling about yourself, then no,
you got to make sure it's coming from a place of like what actually really makes you happy. I really
like old school muscle cars because I used to work on them when, reasoning.
And that's why, like I said, I have mine, but I can get in my shit. I'm like, oh yeah, I can get sideways. It's like a whole feeling that you get. It never gets old. I had one of my muscle cars since I was like 17.
Just like Teslas are not a thing, bro.
Nah, I fuck with electric cars.
Oh, bro. You do?
I got the electric Beamer outside, the i7.
Dude, they're quick.
Crazy.
They're quick.
It's like, hit the gas. It's like,
whoa. Dude, I always get car sick in an electric car.
Really?
Every single time.
Is that right? It just has like a certain pull about it?
It's just that torque, bro. Like, whoa. It feels like a mini spaceship, bro.
It does.
Every single time.
I love it.
My boy, every time he picks me up in his Tesla, I'm like, I need my vomit back, bro.
Really?
I mean, it's not to that extent, but like, it's how I feel.
There's two different feelings. I like the sound of the growling pipes and the muscle, the muscle sound, but then I also like that electric. Yeah. I just like to be clean, man.
Are you a stick shift guy?
Yeah, I drive stick. Yeah, I got 6-speed in my Chevelle.
Ooh. I had not a lot of people know how to drive stick shift anymore.
Yeah, that shit is crazy.
It's kind of crazy though that in Europe, like, almost everyone has a stick shift car.
Yeah, well, European is like, I don't know, man. It's a trip, man. They really got a standard out there, like guns, cars,
What do you mean guns? Like they don't have a lot.
No, it's nice, bro. Like,
they got
yeah. Like if you look at like a Sig Sauer, like the German engineering.
Yeah.
It's like there's a lot of that goes in. There's like detailed shit. I like certain things.
Well, German cars are nice.
German cars, right?
Like there's something like
they're smooth.
about them.
It's like they just.
Well, it's not that. It's like the design. It's like the design.
Design, sleek.
Yeah, like Steve Jobs, bro. Like he was obsessed with Mercedes.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing he would ever drive. Yeah, Nothing else.
I like Mercedes.
There was like a standard thing with Mercedes that like he compared it to Apple. Like I wanna be the Mercedes of technology type of feel.
Yeah, there you go. So I mean, it's just quality standards, man. At the end of the day,
bro. Let's pause real quick. I think this camera went out, and I'll make us another drink. Before we continue, this episode is brought to you by In Spirit Bitters. Be your own bartender at home and make yourself an old-fashioned, Manhattan, hot toddy, spicy margarita, and much more with your In Spirit Bitters. They have various flavor profiles ranging from holiday spiced to pineapple habanero. Just go to www.inspiritbitters.com and use code NBP for Nate Biltz Podcast for 15% off your next order. Cheers. Dude, so what gets you excited now? Because like you kind of built the business up to where it's funding itself. It's a working system, right? And like the family system's working. All these systems are fucking moving nice, And like now, like what gets you excited? Because for so long it was to get to where you're at right now.
Bro, it's like a level up process. You just kind of like know you can do more.
Yeah.
So you like might as well do more.
What's more though?
More is just like help more people.
Okay.
I think that's my main thing. Like helping people, helping dogs, helping like
what does that do
doing
for you?
my part in the world. Like God gives you certain things and like how do you leverage that to help as many people as possible? So that's where I'm on now. Now I'm like, okay, I get a total satisfaction off seeing people like, Jas, you've changed my life. Like that's a whole different type of feeling. That's something money can't give you.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So
How so for those?
Because
like,
bro,
in terms of the dog?
it just bro. You have people who can't take the dog places. They weren't confident. The dog was gonna get put to sleep or something like that, and all of a sudden now you don't have that issue you had. Like that changes people's lives. Like people love their animals, right? So it's just really being able to get that going, and then I teach a lot. I like to mentor other trainers, right? So
dog trainers.
Yeah. I got a mentorship. Yeah, so I coach a lot of people who want to learn this stuff, and I teach them how to be a better dog trainer, have a better brand, have a better system, have better marketing, be a cooler boss, all that kind of shit.
Why teach other people your, I guess, like secrets, quote unquote?
I mean, shit, what the hell? Ain't nothing new under the sun, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like because I can help them and help myself because they'll pay me well for it.
Yeah.
And then I just feel like, bro, if you're sitting there worried about competition all the time, that's a lack of confidence.
Well, the thing is, like, I feel like people buy things from you or any business person not just because of their product, because of like the person.
It's you. That's what I'm saying. A personal
it's an extension
brand.
of yourself,
bro. Just being your authentic self and giving. If you put out,
all the way through,
you receive. You know what I mean? So it's just what it is. The more you give, the more you receive. That's just what it is.
Yeah, where did you learn that from? Because there's a lot of early business that it's the opposite. It's like, for example, like the Microsofts of the world, they didn't want to spill their secrets out right early on. But then there's like Elon Musk, who never patented any like electric vehicle technology, and it was just like, oh, yo, you guys figure out stuff that I don't know. Gave it to the other cars makers of the world.
I just think that there's there's something that comes with speed.
What do you mean?
When you have speed, like you don't got to worry about nobody. What anybody else is trying to do. Like if you're thinking about, people are trying to chase down your 4-year-old plan. Like you're already so fast onto something else, bro. So you can't be sitting there worried about like competition and who's coming up, who's trying to learn from you. Because I mean, since I started my company, but there was always people trying to like, but I just lose it like. I just like the fact that I inspired them. I used to take it personal. Oh, he's doing this, and I got to worry about him. But you
switched it. You switched it to like it's an admiration.
That's a scarcity mindset.
Yeah,
you have to have an abundance mindset. You know what I mean? Like there's always something else. Like the world is a big place. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of opportunities. A lot of dogs. There's a lot of real estate. There's a lot. You don't have to look at it like, oh my God, I got to hold on to everything. When you have to do that, bro, you're living in fear.
Yeah.
you have to live like, I don't give a shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to win regardless.
What's your advice to the fellas or the ladies out there who have that mindset? Because, like, I definitely know a few people like that.
Yeah, bro, you got to get out that fear. And a lot of people, you know, they get it from their parents.
Yeah.
They get it from their surround. Oh, man, you can't do that. That's why sometimes you have to, like, it's lonely sometimes as an entrepreneur.
How so?
Because everybody else is not doing it. I mean, I can't say that I know, you know, 100 successful entrepreneurs who literally wake up in the morning and do what they want and run their own business and tell people what to do.
Yeah.
I know a lot of entrepreneurs, but I know a lot of more people who aren't.
Yeah.
You know, and again, there's just, everybody just doesn't have that drive, that confidence, that.
Don't you think it can be learned, or is it innate?
I think it's a combination.
No.
You know, I mean, it's always It's helpful when it's innate. I think, you know, but learned behavior. I mean, it's the discipline too, bro. It's the sacrifice. You know, these are the things that really make an entrepreneur.
What? Discipline?
Both, bro, and a sacrifice.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a time when you can't go spin in your bag to go like do the shit everybody's doing. Like that's capital, that's working capital.
Yeah.
That's rent.
That's funding.
You have to keep, yeah, you know, like I've never taken on like nobody like, okay, here's a loan and here's this. And
Never
here's
taken
that.
a loan. No business loan.
No.
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah.
You do it, you hustle from the mud and you use your own shit. Now, unless I'm really going to go scale something and I'm going to go do this crazy expansion and I'm going to be able to, I take a loan for real estate.
Yeah.
But when it comes to my business, I just feel like I let it grow in kind of like an organic way, and I make sure.
What's the point of expanding though? Because like in my head, like the real estate stuff, like you're expanding to like different countries now and doing all that, and then but you have all the things that would make you happy, you know?
Yeah, I just want my kids. Well, so you talked about like the cultures now and like, you know, all of these agendas.
Yeah.
I don't want my kids to be limited to this culture. I want them to know their culture. They're half Moroccan.
Yeah.
Right? So I want them to know Africa. I want them to know Arabic.
Why is that important to you?
Bro, it's just because that's what makes you. Like when you are, when you have this blend. See, I'm from the Bay Area, so I grew up around Asian culture, Tongan culture, Mexican culture, black culture, white culture, gay culture. You see what I'm saying? When you're around all of this stuff, it makes you into a human who knows how to adapt better. And you're able to like go in new situations and just, you know what I mean? Like you're
have an
comfortable
okay conversation without getting offended.
Well,
Or
not just being so, you know, easily triggered or whatever. So it's like for me, bro, I just feel like, and then like when I travel, I think about all the things they take away from traveling. And like imagine just being a kid who's already speaking 4 or 5 languages and you're all, you know, you're just got so much exposure. Like,
dude, different language is a superpower. I think about it sometimes because I only speak one. Do you only speak one? Is it just English? But like
a little bit of Spanish
here and there.
I understand words for Arabic, but not enough to like hold a conversation.
Yeah.
Like someone asked me today, "Do you speak habla español?" I was like, "Not enough to talk business."
I was like, I'm gonna get gypped sometime.
It's like, I'm not gonna do you like
You're
that.
like, see, no.
Yeah, so, but I want to learn Arabic. That's why I want to move to another country. I want to move to Morocco.
Because you'll be forced to learn it.
Yeah.
Because no one else speaks English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love cultures where you have naturally happy people. When you see like the ratio of happy people to sad people is like.
Then you realize that like you don't need a lot of things to be happy because there's a lot of happy people in different countries who are happy with having nothing.
They have family, they have culture, they have traditions, they have, you know, all these things that like, it just, you know, that's the dope part. The world's a big place, bro. Like, the world's a playground. Like, go live it up.
What are the characteristics of a good business?
Cash flow.
Money continuously runs through it.
Yeah, you got to have people coming and spending money with you. Business don't run if it doesn't have cash flow.
Yeah.
Then you have to have, a market that's expanding constantly. You know what I mean? It's not like something that's going obsolete. Like you don't go get in the newspaper business when we have social media. You know what I mean? So you have to be, you know, constantly moving. And again, that's constantly evolving.
Just paying attention to what's up.
Yeah.
What's going on.
And in a business that has like, today's age, bro, I feel like because good help is hard to find, like the more you can create a business, like they say there's 3 things. You got media, you have intellectual property, you have software. Those are things that you can actually scale. It's really hard to scale. Like you have automotive shop. Like you have to go buy 10 more lifts and hire 10 more mechanics and hire 10 more janitors. It's just like the more you get into that shit gets very, very mind-boggling, bro.
Because like it's hard to find 10 mechanics that are great.
Yeah, who are gonna do all the things how you want to do them.
Yeah.
And then not have to have run into problems. So it's like that's the problem. Like, and then that's the problem is like a lot of times I want to help a lot of people, but sometimes helping people will hurt you. Unfortunately.
How so?
Well, because you can have a big heart, but sometimes like a big heart in business, like it's a big heart to be like, okay, I'm gonna go give money to this shelter, or I'm gonna go help out these dogs. But then when you're trying to like help people and give them a job, everybody's not as grateful as you hope they would be, based on the fact they don't really realize how much you do to try to like put them in a position, and then they're like, you get stabbed in the back. You like, wait a minute,
or they didn't use it to what it could have been.
Yeah,
right?
and you're just like,
Took
bro,
it for
how
granted.
did you not seize this opportunity?
Yeah.
And you're like part of something that's like moving at a crazy trajectory.
Yeah.
But again, it's just like when you're dealing with humans and you're dealing with humanity, you're dealing with a lot of jealousy and envy, and you're dealing with a lot of hate, and then sometimes you're dealing with a lot of fear. You're dealing with all these different things. So it's humanity, right? So you can get great at dealing with humans, but I mean, you're only gonna be able to, I'm big on like technology, man, and like that's what's cool about like the new
New age.
online space. Yeah, like you can do a podcast and you can teach a lot of people. You can teach a lot of people on a webinar. You don't need to be in their face necessarily every time. You know what I mean? So
and it reaches people who are searching for it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like you could be spitting the same knowledge that you are to a group of doctors and they don't give a fuck.
Right.
But like you teaching these classes online to people who aren't even close to you, right? But they want to learn dog training for themselves and or like their own businesses in their area because you can't reach every single person in the fucking world.
And that's your tribe.
Yeah, that's it. You know?
So that right there, like the online, that's where it's like now, and it's hard because a lot of people are like, I don't want to dog train online, but it's like it's just like I'm here with you.
I'm personal training half of my clients online.
Yeah,
Zoom.
bro, because you want to be able to. There's like a big world out here.
Do you think there's that personal element though? That right now, like for example, I don't really take any online podcasts because I feel like that it's this thing that we have right now going on, this like in person feel, like there is something to that, and you could argue that in personal training, what I do, and as like a dog trainer, would you say?
I mean, yeah, but everybody can't get you forever.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like if you want to grow and you start getting popular, what are you gonna do? You can't be everywhere. Still have kids. I still have a wife. I still have my life, right?
Yeah.
So I can't be. You have to be selfish to a degree, right? To look out for you, and then you can give what you can give. And this is where it's important to build teams or start a podcast or have a course or have Zooms. Have webinars. Have these ways that you can leverage, your abilities. Because every time someone else is speaking for you, they're cutting the story down, and then someone's speaking for them, they're cutting the story. So it gets cut, So if you want to get the organic this is the best way to be able to deliver it to people. So I think like media is definitely like the play.
Yeah.
That's
what do you
how
call it? You've mentioned leverage a few times. What is that, and what does leveraging things do for you?
I mean, bro, you have to leverage, your relationships. You have to leverage your money.
Yeah, what do you mean by leverage though?
What I mean is by, putting a little effort in to get a lot out.
Inputs versus outputs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So and sometimes you have to put a whole lot more in. Sometimes you get a little bit out. Right? So the key is to try to
get the outputs greater.
than
in terms of energy, in terms of money.
Right. Well, the thing is, like, I just try to be cool, right? Yeah. And if people like me, then they'll open their doors to me.
I love how you just say, like, I just want to be cool, bro. Like,
well, bro, I mean, honestly, bro, I think
because there's characteristics to it. Like, obviously, you could break it down. Like, for example, we met at a bar, and I vibed with you. I was like, cool guy. And they're like, yeah, dude, your body is sick. But, like, if you were a weirdo, like, I'm just like...
You're not cool.
You're not cool.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, what describes that cool? Like, for me, it was, like, calm and collected,
easy.
Not excited, like, not overly, like, this is me, or not overly, like stiff and, like, not talking at all, you know?
Right. It's about the flow state.
Yeah.
It's about things just flowing naturally.
Yeah, naturally. You sense the energies too. Like, like, I don't know about you. Like, I'm pretty confident that, like, I know good people when I see them.
Oh, yeah. And it also helps when you know good people who are with good people.
Yeah.
Right? So
usually the crowd's the same.
Yeah.
Usually the crowd's the same. Yeah.
Yeah. So, R.I.P., man, the Jack, man. The Jacker. There's an artist in the Jacker, man. He put me on stage. He was a very popular Bay Area underground artist.
Hip hop?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And Jack, man. Yeah. Shahid Akbar. He was a really cool guy, man. Really cool guy. And as big as he was in the Bay Area scene, he was always known as be like the coolest dude. He'll just be like hanging out with whoever. When I met him for the first time, it was just like, damn, bro, you look like the Jack. He's like, yeah, bro, that's me. It's like, oh shit, bro, that's what's up. Like, I'm over here chilling with you, but that's the kind of dude he is. And I really like took a lot from that, bro. And then like
you learned from it.
And then later on, he saw me like at this weed trade show, and I'm like doing the dogs thing, and I was like, coming up hanging in my booth, and then he's like, oh, well, he talk about me on video, and then he invites me to the show, and he does me do a demonstration at his show at the Catalyst in Santa Cruz. It's just like, and it's funny because he has this recording, man. And he just says, don't be some lame ass, like, corny, trying too hard kind of person. Just be cool. Like if you got some weed, smoke that shit. Like, don't sit there and try to be all like bougie and try to act like you're better than people, or try to like, it's just be cool.
Yeah.
And if you're cool, man, it's just like people just open arms, you know what I mean? Like, and it's being able to hang out with the rich folks, hang out with the poor folks. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Just hang out with the cool people. Just be cool.
Yeah.
And if you're cool, then life just is like,
I feel like there's a little like stress spike when the person who's like way too excited in the room are like, whoa, like what's going on now? Like the energy, bro.
Yeah. And again, sometimes people or sometimes the vibration is low.
Yeah.
Sometimes, damn, what's up with bro? Why you not smiling?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
So I'd rather take the hyperactive, excited guy who's optimistic, than the guy who's in his funky, whatever he's got going on. I'm like, oh, bro, I don't know about your energy.
Yeah.
But at least the happy guy, you're like, all right, well, at least we happy. You might be full of shit, but at least we can just like smile the whole time.
You guys can make fun of him and shit.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, man, for me, that's all about the vibe, bro.
Yeah.
It's all about the vibe.
So, like, friends, in terms of determining, like who you hang out with and stuff like that, it doesn't need to be... It's just basically purely on the vibe and people who you get along with, period.
Yeah.
Nothing
I mean,
else.
I'm friends with the same guys I was friends with 15 years old.
Really?
11 years old. We'll call each other, and he'd be like, I call Rufus, and Rufus will go, oh, man, that video, he's not on IG, and his wife is a judge, right?
Oh, that's different lifestyle.
Yeah. But he doesn't get on IG, but he watches YouTube.
Okay.
So he doesn't have to have a whole profile, but he was watching. Oh, that was funny as fuck, bro. Oh, bro, I love you, bro. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
Like, that's just a genuine friendship. Like, he's just watching my content. He's watching me. Or, hey, how the kids, man? Everything good? All right, bro, we're going to get together. We're not coming to town, and we'll hang out for a second.
Yeah.
But it's just like, when we see each other, but it never changes because it's the feeling.
Why do you think that you guys stayed friends? Because there's a lot of people out there who, like, I guess, outgrow the friendship in terms of, like, there's a lot of jealousy in the world, right? There's a lot of... like, you don't relate on certain things anymore because he took a different path and you took a different path. You can't relate to the daily activities that you do because they're so different.
Where I'm coming from, bro, is what you call a player hater.
Player hater.
A player hater.
Okay.
You say a hater?
Yeah.
Okay. It originates from player hater.
What's that?
So a player hater is the guy who's winning.
Okay.
And the people hate on him. They hate him because he has the girls. He has fly cars. It kind of comes from that whole thing. So it's like, I feel like the culture that we grow up in is like, you don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be a hater. You know what I mean? And it's like, especially if it's your brother. You know what I mean? Like, he looks good, you look good, we all look good. 100%. You see what I mean? And that's the thing.
And
like,
we all grow together.
Yeah. It's like, whatever I have, you have. Like, it should never be like, so the guy who's winning needs to make sure that he's being mindful that he's winning in that, he's keeping his people inclusive. Yeah. And he's not forgetting on them. He's not, I'm just hanging out with celebrities now. I don't answer your phone calls. Like, if you fuck with me, I'm answering your phone call. I'm not gonna. I would feel like so bad to like leave my best friend for 2 days and I didn't call him back. Yeah. Like, what kind of friend am I? It could have been an emergency. Yeah, if I love you, I gotta fuck. I got. What's up, bro? You good? You good? Yeah. Dre, you good? Steve, you good? Like, yeah. I'm blessed, bro. I got some good friendships. I got good friendships for over 20, 30 years. And it just comes down to just being like a good friend and
What
loyal friend.
are the characteristics of a good friend?
I mean, just being there, bro. Talking about shit that you know that like if they're bothering you, like we all have shit going on in our lives.
Everybody.
You right? So it's like when you have that shit going on, who can you turn to? Or do you have to sit there in your fucking house and go, oh fuck, I have nobody. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I have multiple dudes who will sit there and spend hours with me. Yeah. And we'll just break down whatever else we got to break down until it's all broken down. And I feel better, and he feels better, and everybody's better.
That's so important, the communication part, right?
Yeah,
it's like if there's beef with anybody in any way, like just get down to it right now. Like let's talk about it.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't have problems with them. I'm just saying, like in life,
right?
Sometimes we'll just call each other, oh, bro, I'm dealing with this, or what you think about this? Yeah. And then it's like you have somebody to like pour into, and they can pour into you, and when you talk to them, it's just like, how you doing, bro? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, bro, I miss you, bro. And then motherfuckers like, damn, bro, I miss you too. That's a good feeling, bro. Like, that's human shit. Yeah. That's not like, ain't no money shit. And, we about to go pop bottles at the club. It's like, you my brother and I love you. Yeah. And I want whatever I can give you, I pour into you because I fuck with you like that.
Well, a lot of people, too, they get the good feeling of being thought about, right? So if you think about someone and you hit them up and you're like, hey, dude, I just want to let you know, like, I thought about you today. Like, hope you're doing well. Like, that goes a long way sometimes.
That's deep, bro.
Yeah.
Because especially in today's world, everybody's so worried about social media or worried about whatever they have going on, and life is hitting you from all you got kids and life. And when you get that call, sometimes it's like refreshing to be like, I got my people. Yeah. You know, no matter what, I got my people.
Regardless of whatever happens.
How you doing, bro? Somebody's like, man, how you doing, man? Tell me, fuck all this other shit. What's going on for real? Oh, bro, you know, I'm dealing with this. And, okay, bro, you gonna be all right? Anything I can do? Like, that's real shit.
And the thing is, like, those people know you better than anyone else. So, like,
and they hold you accountable. Yeah. And they know that when you're like, hey, bro, you acting weird, bro. You on some fake shit. Like, no. We're not doing that. You know, so. But again, you know, like I said, bro, it just, I don't know, man. Life is good when you just a cool motherfucker.
Yeah. That's period. End of story.
That's it.
What do you call it? How did you get the Netflix special, bro? Like, did you pitch that yourself?
Being a cool motherfucker, man. I got cool with another cool motherfucker, man. So I have, like, one of my best friends is
comes down to it.
Andre Berto, right? Okay. He's a boxer. He fought Floyd Mayweather. He's golden. He's Olympian. Yeah. And me and dude talk like 5 times a day. Right? Wow. Still to this day. I was at his crib training his dog.
5 times a day? That's a lot of times,
well, bro, because we're both like...
I love that.
We're in the digital marketing space. Yeah. And we're both learning. Mm-hmm. And he's like crazy with the networking. And he's just a real likable guy. Super loyal guy. He's my celebrity friend. Like, as I've been coming up, you know, of course, I've had all kind of celebrities. You know, everybody from, you know, shit, I can just name. I'm not even going to name drop, sure. Right? Yeah. He's been that guy where it's like, I call him on FaceTime, he's going to answer. He's going to be that guy, like, you know, I call him anytime, he going to call back. Mm-hmm. He's like, not too, like, I'm bigger than life. Yeah. And me and him just hit off on some organic shit like that. And, yeah, bro, I was at his crib. I sold him my dog's brother, who was originally my dog. He came to me looking for a dog because he had his house broken into.
Say that one more time. You sold him your dog's brother?
I had a dog. And when he came, it was like 7 months old. When he came looking for a dog to buy because he was getting his house broken into, I sold him that dog. Okay. Right? And then I ended up getting his brother, the dog's brother, from my other buddy.
Got it.
Right?
You gave it to your brother.
Right? So I gave him, I sold him my dog, and then I ended up getting my dog's brother from my buddy. Okay. And so now we have dogs that are litter mates. Yeah. I was at his crib, bro, just working. And he had, I was working. I was training his dogs. Yeah. And he had this girl over there who was like a painter. She did art. She's like, oh my God, you're so like, whatever you're doing with these dogs is so amazing. Like, you need to meet my fiance. He's a director, or he's like somebody at a production company, and shit hit it off, man. Let's do it, you know. And I went up, we set up the meeting, and my boy Berto, we jumped in his Rolls Royce, put the car dog in the back, went there, had the meeting, and, you know, just sat at the table, presented my situation, you know, presented my ideas, and they loved it. And then about 8 months later, they were shopping the show, and Netflix was looking for something, and it popped off.
What did that feel like to like see yourself on like one of the biggest media companies in the world. Like Netflix is huge, bro.
It wasn't real to me, bro. I didn't even it wasn't even real to me until because we were editing and we're going through all this stuff.
So you edited all the stuff yourself, like your team?
No. I was working with the editors of the production company. You know what I mean? But because I was we were cool, my director was cool, and it was very important that she got the organic me.
Yeah.
So if I didn't like something, she wasn't gonna like most shows, they just do what they want. That's gonna push the narrative of the show to whatever narrative they want. He was like, no, Josh, this got to make sure this is you. So that was cool. So I had I was actually a executive producer. You know, I got my credit for that.
Right.
Because
That's
I was
sick.
really in there. Yeah, it was sick, right? So, yeah, bro, it just ended up popping off. And then we went top 10 in England. We went top 10 in Canada. We went top 10 in America.
Yeah.
It was crazy, bro.
What year was that?
2021.
2021. Right after the pandemic.
So we stopped filming the last days because of the pandemic. And then all of our editing was all done remote. There was the official time for shit to happen remote.
Yeah.
And then
what did that do for your career?
So
the show.
I mean, of course, bro, you get a worldwide fan base. You know, it was good. It's good for business. Yeah. I mean, you know, I look at it like it's a big ass commercial. You know what I mean? So as we're all here building our personal brands and being entrepreneurs and building our brands, we want as much exposure as we can get. So it was like a big ass commercial.
100%.
This is Cali K9. Go dive in 6 episodes and give him a call at the end and see if he can solve your dog problems or go buy his online course. So it just makes everything is a lot less. There's a lot more trust and a lot less speculation. You know what I mean? They're like, no, he's cool. He's the Netflix guy.
Yeah.
So of course, you know what I mean, it makes it easy buys and decisions. So it's been good.
Yeah, I feel like it's a huge commercial.
Yeah.
Because people trust that shit.
Yeah, it's good.
Versus some random trainer who they don't know, right?
Yeah. So no, man, it's good. It's still good. I got a crazy fan base. It's crazy to see people say, I just binge watch your show for the first time. I didn't even know it. I get at least one of those a day.
Yeah.
Where people are just like, bro, I just love everything about what you're doing. And you know, there's a time, bro, when I first dropped that show, bro, literally, my DMs would be so crazy. You know, and the only thing that, you know, being a marketer and being a business guy, right, you're just fuck, how much conversions did I miss by not being, all the way prepared? There's shit that I'm doing now.
Are you ever prepared, though? I feel like
it's all lessons,
I feel
bro.
like the project's never done.
You're always learning. But you can, bro. Financial literacy and, discipline and making sure that you know everything about everything you're doing can definitely change the numbers. It could change the game for real. I did great. It was great. I'm still doing great. Everything's cool. But I just feel like when you go back, you're like, damn what could I have changed? What could I have done
me better?
Yeah. So again, it's the journey, bro. And I think that's the most important thing. There's never a destination. The destination is 6 feet in the ground.
The destination is the chase.
Well, yeah, the destination is you die.
I feel like that's just the result, right?
That's what ends up happening.
Do you ever think? How often do you think about death?
You know, I don't, bro. I think about life.
You think about life? That's
yeah, I'm trying to live, bro.
I feel like I'm trying to live and do all the cool things and chase all the cool things because I know I'm gonna die. I think about that.
Really?
It's a motivator for me.
Yeah, I just try to live, bro. I just want to be happy.
Yeah.
I just want to fucking just do me.
Yeah.
I just want to be, you know, Jas. I just don't want to, you know what I mean? It's just...
It's chill.
For me, bro, just
being cool.
Yeah, live in the moment, be in that flow state, be in the right mindset. You know, for dogs, we call it getting them in the dopamine state, right? So if you're in the dopamine state, that means that you're optimistic. You're chasing things that make you happy, chasing business. You're chasing having fun. You're chasing, you know, enjoying your kids. You're chasing joyous things versus oh my God, I got bills. I got people. I got, you know, taxes, things due. I got property taxes due.
Yeah.
So I could either live in that and go, oh my God, this shit's coming. Or I could be fuck that shit, man. We're gonna be fine, you know. And let's focus on what we're looking forward to.
But also do all that stuff.
Of course, you gotta handle your business. You know what I mean? That's just business. But I mean, some people get caught up in the stress of life, and when you're in the joy of life, and it's kind of you're in that positive spirit of just shit's gonna be cool, and if it's not cool, we're gonna get over it. Life goes on. You don't die. It's if you don't die, you don't go to prison. You're it's still game. It's still fair game.
Good.
Yeah.
The game is alive and well.
Yeah, you go to sleep, you wake up, and you just tackle it head on. So for me, bro, that's the name of the game, bro. Just like live free, enjoy, do what you want, live how you want. I mean, some people are super overly like they want to work. There's a balance. I like to travel. I like my children. I like to just chill. I like my friends. Yeah. I don't like my friends to only be, okay, I can only have these kind of friends. Like, nah, I got friends for different things. Yeah. Sometimes I just want to vibe out on some other shit that has nothing to do with money.
Zero.
Nothing to do with dogs. Yeah. It's got to be like, this is just what I want. We vibing on
You're like,
this.
I don't want to talk about dogs every minute of every day, guys.
Nah. And most of the time, I kind of do.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of that, bro, you've said it. We've watched some of your content that every dog can be trained.
Yeah.
You think so?
I mean, every person can advance in life.
You can't teach. Do you believe in that saying? You can't teach an old dog new tricks. Like literally.
That's the biggest bullshit I've ever heard in my life.
Like an older dog.
Why? You put an old I say you put an old person in an old folks home.
I'm talking about the dogs itself.
I'm just using an example of humans.
Oh, okay.
Right? So you take an old person. Yeah. You put them in an old folks home.
Okay.
Okay. They left their house. They left, whatever. Maybe their spouse died or whatever. Now they're in a retirement home. They got a time when they eat. They got a game room time. They got a time for this. They got a time for that. So if old people can change, old dogs can change.
Not the other way around.
Right?
Also the other way around.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, you close old doors that used to be open. Yeah. And you open new doors. And the new doors are fun and attractive. And then you have the old doors that aren't so fun, comfortable, and attractive,
That's why you, walked out of those doors.
Yeah, you get the hell out. I go to comfort.
Yeah. Or curiosity.
Desire.
Mm-hmm.
Dogs are selfish, bro. They're not about being curious. They want to know. They want to win. They want that treat. They want the toy.
Give me that food.
Yeah, they want that praise.
Yeah. What have dogs done for you outside of a business perspective? Like for you personally, throughout your life?
Bro, they teach you a lot about people because I deal with so many insecure dogs, and you really
how can you tell they're insecure?
Because they're aggressive, they're avoiding, they're
because that's a lot. That's an adjective that most people don't describe dogs.
What's that?
Insecure.
Oh yeah, that's probably.
I've never heard of it.
Most aggressive dogs are insecure.
Okay. Why?
Right? Because they're scared. They haven't been socialized. So most people are scared. They're scared of this culture, or that culture, or this kind of person, or that person because they haven't been socialized to them. Right? So
you just have to put them in the environment?
You have to desensitize. You have to familiarize. Right? Yeah. So that happens gradually. But you have to be in the right mindset.
So say I brought a very aggressive dog to you, right? And it's 5 years old. And it's on puppy, right? And it's had a lot of life experience in terms of a dog life. And the owner, whoever brought it to you, is I need this dog disciplined in this way by this date, blah blah blah, X, Y, and Z. Where do you go from there?
Well, I decide whether I'm going to train the dog or you're going to train the dog. Right?
Okay.
If the dog is comfortable enough for me to train the dog, then we can train the dog. But I'd rather train you to train the dog because you live with the dog. So what we're going to do is we're going to train the dog based on 16 dimensions of temperament, right? So dogs are when I look at a dog, I don't look at a dog as this is a Rottweiler. I look at him as indoor activity level, outdoor activity level, vigor and intensity, behavior consistency, emotional stability, territoriality, sociability with people, sociability with strangers, sociability with children, sociability with family members, watchdog ability, guard dog ability, learning rate, learning of behavior, and learning of problem solving.
Damn, bro, you're smart.
Right? I look at the dog based on those dimensions. Solid. Right? So when you say, you're
when you said 16, I was is this dude really going to name all 16 off right now?
Yeah.
You're yeah, this is it.
Yeah, plus dominance with dogs and dominance with people.
Oh, God.
I missed 2.
There you go.
Right?
You remembered them.
So when you have the 16 dimensions under your belt, you know what that dog is dealing with. So you know kind of how to get it from A to B.
Wow.
Or from A to G or wherever you got to move the dog. Some dogs are naturally a certain way, and we have to go through behavior modification. But in order to do behavior modification, we have to know what this dog is naturally, and then where is our desired outcome. And then we have to do some shit in between there to get to our desired outcome, which is usually just building confidence and getting them out of that insecure shit I was talking about.
So it's a whole science.
Yes.
But it's just like
Behavior science.
This is the problem. This is how it's gonna be solved.
Yeah. And then there's a formula to get there.
Yeah.
And there's like no formula that we can't get to. Yeah. Like as long as I see the dog and I know what I look at it at face value, then I say, all right, cool. Let me go ahead and give it a little sauce, a little sprinkle, a little this, a little that. Okay, bam. Now we got
There you go. That's your full entree.
That's how we do it.
What do you call it? There's a lot of people who pay for your training. And there's a lot of people who pay for training in general. And just before this, we were talking about how, like, oh, yeah, I hired this guy to teach me this. I hired this guy to teach me this. I hired this guy to teach me this. And, like, I guess from a consumer of social media standpoint of, like, every person online is, like, an online coach, this and that, blah, blah. How do they choose the right one? And, like, clearly it's been a beneficial advantage for you to pay for services and like learn from other people. Mm-hmm. How do you trust which source to like pay your money for to learn the skill that you're desired to learn?
Well, I think that there's a lot of people who know a lot about different things. Like a lot of people know the same shit, but it's like who you vibe with.
Like for example, you said you bought these, I don't know, like services from other people to teach you.
Oh, like business stuff
and everything like that. Like why do you trust them? Like why?
Because
why
they got the track record. They got the track record.
Yeah.
So again, if you go on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Yelp, all the social media channels, you're gonna say, okay, checks all boxes, right? So you gotta check boxes. You know, check the boxes. Like I can't learn. Like I don't really teach high level competition training because I don't doing high level competition training.
I'm doing it to normal people.
Socialization and behavior modification.
Yeah.
So I don't expect to attract those kind of clients because I haven't done that. But what I have done is help a whole lot of people do what I do. You know, and I think that that's the key is you have to look for what you're looking for of someone who's done it, and then you know they have the track record.
Yeah. Why not like go through the fires yourself in the sense of like, oh, like I don't need to pay for this coach, like blah blah blah. Like I'm just gonna work hard and do the thing, and then eventually figure it out.
You can go through fires yourself. You're gonna learn. I like. So you asked a similar question earlier. We were talking about like experience versus like just like textbook or people learning from their mistakes. So it's like you can do both. You know, you have to learn on your own, but then it like helps you to get like shortcuts. So if you're like, say, okay, here's a map. Well, you can go here, here, and here, or you can go all the way around here. Like how you would do it is, let me just go all the way. Based on the map, I'm going to do all of this. But if someone's like, well, no, actually, there's this shortcut here and this shortcut here and this shortcut. So you get
Let me show you.
Let me show you how to get there a lot faster.
Ah, that's a good analogy.
So you pay for speed.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Like
And
I'm
speed is
willing to
king.
pay. Speed is king.
Yeah.
Right? I had a shout out my brother Thomas Witherspoon, right? He was like, a lot of these guys are like speed coaches and athletic trainers. He was the guy who got guys
Physical,
40 time down from like 4.5 to a 4.3. So he was a speed coach.
And that's huge in every sport.
In dogs, I mean not dogs, but in I mean dog. In like football and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But he always said speed was king. And I think that's even a bit. There's one of my buddies, Mo Alpha Slice. You know, he says like this power of speed. Like don't wait. Like he says, is the seminar done yet? Did you shoot it yet? I'm just like, oh no, I'm gonna do it next one. What are you waiting for? You know what I mean? Like get to it fast. Like get it done.
Why?
Just because procrastination. He said that 1% of the people who buy his stuff actually really follow through on the entrepreneur stuff. Isn't that crazy?
Is he a business coach?
He's a business coach too.
Yeah.
And he's a great business coach.
1%, that's very low.
People don't fucking follow through because they drag ass and they
How would you say he's a good business coach if only 1% of his clients are success rates?
Because that's just people's discipline.
Yeah.
That's why there's only a few entrepreneurs in the world and there's not like, millions. That's why there's a whole lot of jobs because again,
But you describing like entrepreneurship as freedom would probably like convince a lot of people listening like, oh, I want to do that.
They're not ready to sacrifice.
So what do you need to have or do to, I guess, like be a full-time entrepreneur, to be a full-time business person?
You got to be resilient. You have to know how to like put yourself last sometimes, put the business first.
Yeah.
I remember I worked, one of my hardest jobs was I worked for my neighbor and we were building in, I was in airplane mechanic school and I was working at Jackhammer. and I'm breaking down this. I'm building a trench, and I'm really literally digging with the. Shout out Jimmy, right? J.O. Smith Construction. He told me that he always bought something for his business before he bought for himself, right? And the reason I remember because I was like, that was some hard ass work. You know what I mean? With the jackhammer, or bop, 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 like I got appreciation for like what hard work was.
Yeah. Imagine if you didn't have the jackhammer.
Yeah. So check this out. So he always told me, right? I know, right? So he told me that like he always bought something for his business. So I think that that's the thing. Like most people want to buy that outfit. They want to buy that car. They want to buy that watch. They want to go out to that fancy dinner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they're not stacking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's something about like, and it's also like
delayed gratification.
Delayed gratification. And that's one thing about like I think being like a hustler, like a street hustler, you learn like, you know
it's different. It's different than like, I don't know, the techie hustlers.
Yeah. It's like it's like a gritty, like, oh, you know what? I'm not buying no clothes.
Yeah.
I ain't buying shit. I'm not even eating out. I'm stacking all my money.
I just don't understand fashion sometimes. I'm like, I look at something and I'm just like, why is that $20,000?
Well, I mean, that's people leveraging their brand. We talked about leverage, right?
Yeah.
It's status because people want to feel like they're somebody because they bought it.
Yeah.
You know, I think that, and I mean, but again, and this is something ongoing. I mean, you know, before a time, you know, people had, you know, pearls and diamonds, and you had all these different things that like, you know, or crowns, and it kind of like differentiates you from. Yeah. So you know, people like what they like. You know
Do you get joy from having nice things?
I mean, I always like nice shit. I always like to look nice. There's something about it. I mean, you get more respect too when you look nice. Like you look, you know, if you build or you're handsome, whatever the case may be, is you get a different treatment.
Yeah, dude, you had a good beard line.
Oh, thanks, man. Shout out my barber, man. The boy is a beast.
I always respect a good beard because like I have decent facial hair for an Asian guy, but like it's just like when I see a thick, nice beard, I'm just like, that's sick, bro. Like I wish I could grow.
Well, I mean, I got no hair, bro, so I gotta have a nice beard.
The bald head and beard is like a look now, though.
Yeah,
like people are living it.
But you know, a lot of dudes, man, a lot of the bald head dudes, bro, they either wear hats or they're getting into like the micro something. They're getting the fake hairline.
Oh, yeah?
Bro, it's just so obvious, bro.
Yeah.
I think you gotta really like Jordan made the fucking bald head cool, bro. Like, live in your bald head, bro. Yeah. Like, you know, so many people are so insecure. I feel
like some people just don't have a good looking head. Like you have a good looking head, bro.
I mean, you're not perfect, bro. I mean, come on, bro. You just gotta be confident in your own skin. Oh, yeah. You know, God gave you what He gave you, bro. You just gotta keep it moving.
Use what you have.
That's it, bro.
Use what you have.
That's it, bro. Leverage.
Yeah. If someone wanted to just like start a business, like what do they do? Because like they might be doing something that is not that.
You need to make sales.
So basically, we were talking about Alex Hormozi earlier, and I read his book recently.
100 Million Leads?
Yeah, super good. But it was the offers too, both of them.
Offers, nice.
And basically in every business, you need to have offers, and then you have leads. Offers meaning like something that that you could sell to other people, and leads, people to buy your shit.
That's it.
Right? And I guess, like, what do you think makes Cali K9 a good offer, and how do you get leads?
I get leads by making content. I get leads by running ads. I get leads by email marketing and my email list. I get leads by word of mouth. I get leads by, my celebrity clientele, and of course the social proof. I get leads through, being on a show. So I think when it comes down to leads, you need to have multiple things that bring in leads. So these are lead magnets. So you can have, like, in ads, they say lead magnet is like an offer. You get like an ebook or something, and someone, give you the lead. But leads can come from anywhere. Leads can come from everywhere. So the key is that having all of these different ways to get leads. Your customers can go out and get you leads. Your trainers, my workers can, or my staff can get leads, by being great staff and by, doing such a good job that they're upselling the people who they're currently working with. Yeah. The customers can bring in their friends, or agencies can bring in people, or, posting content. I mean, one of my ad agency that I'm working with now, I was watching a video, he's talking about, boosting ads. I mean, sometimes like a social media post can have the value of thousands of dollars if it goes viral. You see what I mean? Because that's all it is about getting eyes on your stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to get leads, you just have to hustle, man. You have to put yourself out there. You have to be good on camera. You have to be able to, speak well, know what you're talking about, be an authority in your space. And then the other question was?
Offers. What makes Cali K9 a great offer? Great. Why should people buy it?
Cali K9 is just, we have a system that works time and time again.
Yeah.
And we have customer service that we stand on, So if you're not happy, we're going to make sure you're good. We deliver what we say.
Yeah.
And we try to over-deliver. We have online training. We have Zoom training. We have in-person training. We have group training. We have all these different things that we try to bundle up. And, when we sell it, we're saying, like, you can't fail.
Yeah.
The only way you're going to fail if you're lazy as fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's all there for you. Like, I try to over-deliver. Sometimes I feel like I shoot myself in the foot because those are possible upsells, but like I'm really big about just like really having a happy customer. So you kind of over deliver, and then you got to have more shit. So like Hormozy says, you got to do more. You got to over deliver. You got to value, more value until eventually people feel bad and they're just like, you know what, I got to buy from this guy.
He described it more than, because Gary Vee had the jab right hook, like give get. Right. And then Hormozy was just like, just keep giving.
Yeah.
Until you eventually get.
Yeah.
Because if you provide so much value, if I'm like, Jas, bro, like, I'm going to be free personal training every single day, this and that, blah, blah, like, you'd be like, fuck, dude, I owe Nate something now, bro.
Yeah.
He's like, I got a six-pack, I'm for shredded right now, like this and that, blah, blah.
You're going to feel guilty.
Yeah.
So that's the key, bro, and not being, again, like, for me, I look at Hormozy like someone who's just super confident. Because he's just giving away all this shit.
For
he's
free.
Giving away so much stuff.
So much stuff.
But at the end of the day, when that switch turns in your head to say, Alex is the GOAT, he can do no wrong, now he's the GOAT.
Yeah.
And whatever he buys, whatever he sells, you're going to buy. Whatever he puts out, you're going to consume.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of power in just being an authority. You know what I mean? And by giving away so much information, they're like, wait a minute,
that works, right?
This guy is like giving away all this information for free. Like, what am I going to get when I actually pay him?
Yeah.
So I think it just comes down to being a fucking expert, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't be so many people are so fake gurus, bro. They don't really have a track record to say they've done shit to actually charge people and to be that guy. But if you're that guy and you're giving out all this stuff, then you're going to be that guy. It just comes down to the guy who really is solving the problems and making people believers.
Yeah.
How
does one become an expert?
Deep practice.
Mastery.
Time.
Do you think you put
experience.
Do you believe in the whole 10,000 hours
Hell
thing?
Yeah. Hell yeah. For sure. I mean, you have to be like, in my trade, I'm a master in my profession. It's like, what I do, specialize in, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll go against anybody with it. Like, you know what I mean? To like get, if I had to go debate about it, like, I'm gonna go into war about this shit.
Dude, when you named those 16 traits, I was like, damn, bro, like, you got a good memory.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
do you do that with everything in terms of, because I feel like in business is a huge thing with relationships, right? It's like with, I don't know, I think remembering names is a big one.
Oh, that's huge.
I feel like remembering certain aspects of someone's life is like, oh, dude, how's like your kid doing? Or how's like, oh, is that dog doing like all right? Like, X, Y, and Z. And like, I feel like the care behind it sometimes not even the care. It's like the act of memorizing, or not even memorizing, like paying attention and knowing the person and the history and the past experience. Because there's a lot of people who you meet them in a meeting or at an event, and there's just so many people and you don't remember. But that one person who remembers you and get that one experience, be like, hey, Jas, like, yeah, I went to this thing and I saw you there. We had this great conversation. Like, how you been? How's your kid? This and that, blah, blah. You're like, whoa, like, it sticks out.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's just all about the follow-up. It's all about the, being thorough. You know what I mean? And again, that's not always easy because you got running into so many people all the time. But, I mean, I think but that's also a manipulation tactic. Right? So it's like, is it because you actually give a fuck about my kid?
That's
or
what
you're doing things to make me say, oh my God, he remembers me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the thing, is there's all these tactics that people use. Now, is it genuine?
Yeah.
Or is it a tactic?
Yeah.
Is it a strategic move to get you to go, oh, this guy likes me. This guy knows me. You know what I mean? So again, there's a lot of, but again, naturally, I think it is good to know, like, memorize stuff.
I feel like those are most of the time genuine. Or not.
Some tricky motherfuckers out here, man.
I don't know. Like, I feel like you could tell if someone's being fake. Maybe not, though. Like, because a lot of people, like you said earlier, was like, dude, like, I've got backstabbed before.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, if, like, you think about a salesman.
Yeah.
Right? He's trying to make a sale. Usually they're commission-based.
Yeah.
So they're going to do and say whatever the hell they got to do to get you to say yes. I mean, the reality is, bro, that we're living in a time where it's like there's a lot of, like, it's real, but it's fake. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of people are definitely like they know what makes it look like they're this, but they're really not. You know what I mean? So it just kind of like it's manipulation a little bit. You know, I think it's
a lot of business people right now are saying like right now is a time that is the easiest time to ever start a business and do well. Like the Dana White's is like, yo, it's so easy to win in this right now.
It is, but you know what? People aren't ready to put in the work that it takes to be nobody before you're somebody. Like, I literally have pictures of me like, bro, who is this dude? Like, what were you wearing? Why were those shoes looking like so, you know what I mean? Like, you have to be that guy and go through that. And again, it's like, it's a lot easier to get a job.
What's the work to be nobody?
The work to me, well, you have to just be nobody. Like, nobody knows you when you first start. Yeah. You're not just gonna be great if you're not a master yet. You know? Yeah. You got your white belt.
What do you mean that work, like, just in general? Because, like, when you said that, I thought about these things. And I was like, to be, like, I guess the quote-unquote, like, adult of your life. Like, you do, like, doing laundry is hard. Brushing your teeth is hard. Like, doing the Excel sheets hard. Like, do all those things good first. And then you could worry about all the other shit.
Yeah, it's a lot of shit to worry about.
A lot of shit to worry about.
But, you know, I think there's a lot of people who are just full of shit. You know, when it comes down to, like, the professional shit, because they really didn't do the work. Yeah. You know,
they don't have the proof.
They just, they don't have the proof. Yeah. They don't have the track record. So that's the issue. You know, I think too many people think that it's just like some, like, you know, some quick formula, like nothing, you can't get around the work. You know, otherwise you're just going to be a fraud.
Yeah. And I feel like that's what I did some research earlier, and you were like kind of canceled at one point, like tried to, right? And like
they tried.
Yeah. And like similar to like Joe Rogan in the sense, like his truth is already out there. Your truth is already out there. Like that whole thing of the Eminem 8 Mile, like that last bit, like everything that he said, he put it out in the world, and you can't make fun of him in any way for it.
Right. You're like, hey, it's out there now. Yeah. Yeah, so that's the cool part. I mean, again, that's another part about freedom. You know what I mean? And being an entrepreneur and not have to answer nobody. Like, you know, yeah, it is what it is. You know what I mean? They try to cancel because I use equipment that they sell at PetSmart.
That's it?
Yeah. Yeah. But, you know, they have this
PetSmart's pretty big, though. Do you think those big chain stores, not just PetSmart, but any other, like, I don't know, like the Walmarts of the world, and do you think they're going to be around for much longer?
Oh, like big box retail?
Yeah. Because, like, dude, I don't remember. I mean, I go once in a while, maybe, like, a convenience store or, like, Walgreens to get this. I don't remember the last time I went to a mall, like, to, like, buy shit.
Yeah. I mean, the whole online thing is, like...
I think it's changing the game.
It is definitely changing. It's convenient, but sometimes you just want to get the hell out the house. Sometimes you just want to see people. Sometimes you just want to walk.
Yeah. You know? I feel like you could do those things without, like, going into a, you know, shopping area.
So where do you go?
When I go out, I mean, like, you go get food.
You can deliver that too. Huh? You could deliver that too.
Yeah, that's like an experience. I guess you could argue that about like buying clothes. Yeah,
it's like
it's the experience part.
It's the whole experience. It's like going to the store, riding to the store, playing the music to go to the store, having a conversation on the way to the store, trying some shit on.
Like, why are you watching a movie in the theaters versus at home?
Where everybody's just trying to be so damn convenient. Where it's just like, what about the experience of actually doing that thing? Yeah. You know what I mean? Trying to simplify it so much and just like...
And sometimes, like, the enjoyment is the hard work of going to the place.
Yeah. It's like, makes you appreciate it. Yeah. You know? It's like, I went to the movies the other day to go watch the Bob Marley movie, bro. And I'm fucking...
Oh, was it good?
Oh, fire. You know, I grew up, you know, around a lot of like Rastafarian culture, so I was like very touched home, you know? It's cool.
One of my clients represents the writer on it.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Nice, yeah, bro. Good show. And I know, like, the Marley family was really serious about, like, how the representation of their dad was gonna be. So.
What does entertainment do for you? Like, what does any form of entertainment?
You know, bro, I'm not really. It's funny, bro. I was watching this Andrew Tate shit last night. You know,
how do you feel about him?
Tate? I think Tate is like, I mean, I feel like he's got all the game. All the game. Yeah. How do you get to the fucking top? You're just some random kickboxer and you're the top of the fucking talking of town, talking the world. And they're putting you in jail because of shit. He's that controversial because he understands marketing, bro. Yeah. He understands audience. He understands engagement. He understands how to controversy. Yeah. He understands. He's a total, like, he's a genius in that state. You know what I mean? I mean, he could come across like he is, but he's a very smart guy. Well, the thing is, like, you were talking about being good on camera and stuff like that. Yeah. And just imagine, because some of his clips, I'm just like, are you just yelling at a camera in your living room right now, bro? You're not going to get a reaction. Nobody's going to watch your shit if you don't stand out. Yeah. You know, I have a buddy, Coach Wes Watson. Like, he's screaming at everybody, but it's the character. Like, you almost have to be a character because you just have scroll down, another person talking. Scroll down, another person. Everybody's got a podcast they talk about. So it's like, what's going to pop? That's going to make people say, oh, let me hook this. What's going to hook them in to make them watch your shit? Yeah. Right? And if you're not different, you're just going to look average. You get average views, average, average kind of engagement, you know, or if you want to be extreme. So, again, I think that he, you know, after watching even some of his old stuff, I'm like, damn, bro, he's got like this whole, he like really understands a lot about a lot. And he's a smart guy. And he put himself in a situation that it got a little shaky. I mean, he's still, you know, he's still well off and doing his thing, but I mean, it got a little crazy for, you know, whatever the case was with the Romania stuff. Yeah, all that stuff. But honestly, man, I just think that, you know, the whole alpha male thing, it comes down to like you're hunting for your family. That the whole hunter gatherer, like, you know. Well, I think about that too. Like, I was like, if you're with, let's say, just straight people, guys, like if you for your girl, like most girls want someone to protect them. Right. Most girls want someone to provide for them. Right. Most girls want someone to like be able to feel like they're safe. Right. You know? And I'm just like, when masculinity was like demonized over like the short period of time, especially in the place that we live in, I'm just like, no one's really talking about it. You know, like his also like every single woman of the year is not a woman. It's like a trans person. And I'm just like, and I haven't heard one woman talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, what's going on? Yeah, bro, it's getting interesting. Yeah. And but then like, I'm just, why aren't women speaking up for it? Because like, if I was a girl, bro, I'd be pissed. I was like, why aren't I woman of the year? I'm a, you know? A real woman. A real woman. Oops, don't cancel me. Right, so that's the thing, bro. It's just really like, I think it's where the money is. Like the money determines. Everyone goes where the money's at. Yeah, it's just and then again, even with that whole world, it's like it's very like, you know, you talk alphabet. It's like hooks you. It's like, oh, what? Yeah. It's something that is gonna get people's attention. And I just feel like, man, for me, man, I love everybody, but I don't like to try to like make like, oh, men aren't this or men aren't that or gay people are this or gay people, like, just let people live, man. Yeah, be who they want to be. Yeah. Right? Like at the end of the day, like we agreed that happiness is doing what you want to do when you want to do it with the people who you want to do it with. And like, dude, if you want to do those things, like, cool, do whatever the fuck you want to do. Like, I don't care. Yeah, it's your life. Yeah. And that's the beautiful thing about America, but sometimes we get a little bit too free. Yeah. You know, to get too free, shit just gets, you know, it just turns into whatever, you know. And again, you have the media, you have, you know, well, that's one thing too. Like, do you ever think about like, have certain events been happening for a long period of time and they're just seen now because there's media in the world? Like, imagine like when there was no internet and this and that. Like, were some of these things happening? Oh, you talking about like what's going on in Palestine? Oh, yeah, sure, that. Good. I don't know too much about it. Well, I mean, you have genocide happening right in front of people. Yeah. And everybody's becoming desensitized to it. Sure. So for that, do you think that like it could have been happening before? It has been happening. Before media? If you talk to everybody, it's just like I said, the power of social media brings certain things. But because there's so many distractions and because there's so much other shit to keep you you know, engaged with, that, you know, you'll look at it and go, oh, so poor people, oh, it's so sad. And then tomorrow you're like, oh, what's going on in this show? What's going on this desk? You know. So, I mean, for me, I just think that, you know, I mean, it's always been everybody, man, that's propaganda.
Yeah. How do you decide where to put your attention?
Man, I got kids, bro. I'm too damn busy.
Yeah.
Like, them kids are, I want cereal. I want a color. I want to go play with the dogs. Like, that's my attention, bro. Like, they're not happy. I'm not happy. So for me, bro, I'm like, forget what the world is doing, bro. What's up with the fam?
What do you think makes a good parent? Because you grew up with like a one parent household, right? With just your mom. And like there's a lot of people who suffer from not having like a father figure, like not someone to like kind of emulate, And it seems like you've developed all the qualities to be that for your family, Like one, like how did you learn that? But two, like what are those characteristics?
Well, I think you overcompensate for what you don't have. You figure out, you find out where it is. Like, okay, so it's not right in front of you. It doesn't mean that there's not another good man over here who's doing it right, who you can learn from. I mean, yeah, it might not be as easy to, but sometimes, man, people have dads that keep them from being the man that they could possibly be. Right?
People don't flip that around sometimes.
Yeah, like sometimes, like your dad is the reason why you're not past your dad, because he kind of kept you down because you're too busy following him instead of trying to be better than him. So for me, like, I'm one of those kind of guys. I'm like, I want my kid to be better. I want him to be more fly. Yeah. I want him to be more slick. I want to be more handsome. I want to be, better businessman, a better,
You got good looking kids, bro.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Thank you. And again, like, my thing is just like, I feel like when you have kids, bro, you just want the best for them. You know what I mean? It's like, why be a hater to your own kid? Like, why keep him down? Like, so for me, bro, I'm really busy, like, being a parent. And then that's like.
But you love learning new things, right? All right. So you're learning stuff for your business, but like you're learning how to salsa, right?
Yeah, bro.
Like what's the importance of, I guess, learning new things for you?
Well, I think if you're gonna be with your partner, bro, you gotta keep it lit.
Yeah, okay.
You don't want to be that boring guy. You don't want to fall off and get fat and get fucking lazy and not be fun and not be the attractive guy that your partner fell in love with, right? So you got to keep it spicy, bro. You got to keep it lit. Yeah. And I think that, doing things that are, sometimes the kids overconsume you. And, last night I was like, my kids both came to the bed by 5 a.m. They were both in there, 1 foot on my head and one over here. It's just like, it's like the kids really take shit over. Yeah. And you got to, keep it fun. And then I like to dance, bro. I like to get out. I like to move.
What about learning in general?
Just learning, bro. It just keeps the brain just getting strong. It's like you can build a muscle. Yeah. Same thing. So you got to build the brain, bro. And it just keeps you stimulated. Like, usually I go to sleep, like, listening to some kind of podcast or some kind of, like...
I don't listen to too much music when I'm driving. It's usually I just want to learn shit.
Yeah. I sometimes I just listen to quietness. I just think.
What does... Because sometimes, bro, like, that quiet space, no sound while you're driving, or you're just sitting... I don't have kids, so like sitting in the living room by myself and just like thoughts go by, or your meditative state, like that's always not necessarily peaceful, but I think it's important.
Yeah, bro. Sometimes it's like nothing.
Well, yeah. What is that nothingness? What is that lonely time? What does that time do for Jas?
Sometimes it's just reflection, bro. It's just like, sometimes, I mean, I think a good time to be quiet is to pray and talk to God.
What's your praying process?
Well, as a Muslim, I'm supposed to pray 5 times a day. I'm probably not supposed to be consuming too much other stuff, too.
Sure.
Of course, we're trying to be better and better every day.
As best as we
can. But, the key is like having that time to just like get quiet and just kind of like cut everything else. Like, when you're praying, it's like somebody's like, hey, Jas, you're like, I'm in this little meditative state. So I think I think it just brings you peace, bro. It's like, and sometimes like you're supposed to pray a lot more. It's for a reason. Right? So it's like, you're praying once a day, you're not getting that. Like, if you get 5 times, you could totally just check out of everything and just give thanks. Yeah. Like, bro, you know what that does for your, like, your just...
system.
Patience for your world, you know what I mean? Patience for the world, patience for everything that's going on around you. You're just being grateful. Yeah. And if you're grateful, then I think a lot of times, like, you kind of, like...
dangerous.
Yeah, well, I think it just... you don't feel, like, in need of anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's a superpower.
Yeah, bro. If you just totally
I always I didn't know you're Muslim, but all these Muslim fighters, bro, they're scary. I'm just like,
bro, discipline, bro.
They're fighting for like something else, dude. I'm just like, bro, what's going on?
And that's why America's scared of Islam.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think about it, bro. It was if you think about the conquistadors who came back in and pushed all the Muslims out of Spain, like Islam ran the world.
Yeah.
And now it's a war against every Muslim country. Syria, you have Libya, Yemen, you have Iraq, you have Afghanistan, you have, of course, you have Palestinians.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Why what? Look at all those countries, all Muslim countries. What's the common denominator? They're all Muslim countries.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The war shit's still lit, you know? Yeah. And I think that there's just like...
In the worst way, lit in the worst way, guys.
Yeah, lit in the worst way, for sure. Like, it's all bad. And again, Saudi tends to rock with America because they have trade deals and all type of things. You know, they're trading all this, this fiat currency, all this stuff, and all oil.
Do you pay attention to current events a
lot? For the most part. I mean, I kind of stay tuned in a little bit of everything.
Back to attention-wise, like, I feel like you look at news or current events, like, for me, it's a lot of negative energy sometimes.
Well, they got to keep you locked in.
Right?
Keep you scared, fear-mongering. That's a fear. That's a whole tactic that can control you.
Yeah, so like
manipulation.
I decide the thing. I decide not to pay attention to a lot of that stuff because I'm like, if I can make my surroundings, my circle, my community, this and that better, like it ultimately could only better the entire world because it's only my circle. Does that make sense? Yeah. And it could ripple effect.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, I was just curious about the current event stuff because like when I hear you talking about this, I'm just like, I don't know too much.
Really? Yeah. I mean, I like history.
What do you love about history?
I just like to know like kind of how we got to where we are
right now.
Yeah, and then kind of the sequence of events, and
you just want to make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, I just look at all this stuff like, there's like a cause and effect, and then it's like you just realize it's funny. Like for example, right? We had 9/11. 9/11. We didn't have social media like that. We didn't have camera phones. So they were able to make this whole big thing, right? And everybody just believed it, right? And then here they tried to do this shit in Israel. And it's like, nah, bro, everybody has phones. Like,
this all happened.
This is not happening how you're saying it's happening.
Yeah.
So for me, bro, I just think that
it's quickly how the narratives change so quickly because it's the first initial thing that happens on social media, and then there's like the weeks after that, like, oh, I don't know if this happened. Like this might not have been accurate.
No, everything. Well, that's the thing is like the power of the media. Like how much can they propaganda? Like back in the day, they would drop like pamphlets out of a plane, and everybody pick it up, and that was the news.
Yeah.
Whereas like now, whatever's on social media is the news. That's what's So it's just a lot of distraction, bro. And I think that, like I said, when you asked me earlier about what it takes to become an entrepreneur and to get through all of the mud, like you got to fight through the mud, and because there's so much other shit like. You got what's going on over here with Ice Spice, and then you got what's going on over here with this actress, and what's going on over here with this person. It's just like all of this stuff. Like,
why do we care?
They make you care because that's what pop culture is. You're supposed to care.
Yeah,
it's supposed to because we don't worship God anymore. We're only worshiping idols.
Yeah.
People don't care about. They want Taylor Swift. They don't care about.
I didn't really watch the Super Bowl much because I had a meeting to go to, and then I watched like the fourth quarter and the ending, and I was like, I don't know if I'm watching it today. And everyone looked at me like,
bro, I don't even watch sports. But I played sports my whole life. But like, they're not paying me
to watch sports.
Yeah,
you're a consumer.
I'm just totally like, and people are like getting into betting on sports, and they just get too caught up in it. And I'm just like, bro, I have my own game to play.
Yeah.
I have my own, again, and I get it. It's like man time and this and that. But like, I feel like as men, like, let's talk about business.
Yeah.
How can we provide for our families better? How can we create better community? How can we, and again, it's just, but people get into these traditions and they get into just like, oh, it's sports. It's Sunday. We're supposed to watch football.
Yeah,
like,
all day. I'm just like, what?
Like, nah, bro. Like, I'm good with the highlights. Like for me, like, give me.
I wouldn't have expected that.
Let's go outside. Yeah. Let's go do some shit. But again. It's just kind of like, I think it's conditioning. We all get conditioned, and we don't realize how conditioned we are,
This is very similar to dog training, bro. It's
all
crazy.
dog training, bro. That's what I told you, bro.
It's psychology.
It's all psychology.
But you just like, your test subjects are just other living beings that have similar tendencies.
Yeah, well, the cool thing about dogs is you don't have to have, like dogs are truth. Like, you know, like people will put all kind of, you know, dogs can't go buy a Bentley and look rich. You know, like, you know, that dog is fucked up, you know, based on his body language and how he's looking, like what he's going through. He's stressed out. He's not comfortable. He's stressed, you know, he's aggressive, whatever it is. This person, they can put the Versace on, they can put all this stuff on. You really can't read through what's really going on. So that's the coolest. Dogs are like more truthful. Yeah. You know, a lot of people are like covering stuff up to like put these layers on.
They're like innocent beings versus like smart.
Yeah, crafty
manipulators.
Yeah, bro. It's all
human
like,
beings.
It's a lot of slickness going on. So, you know.
So if there's a lot of people who have dogs. Like there's a lot of people who have dogs. Like, and I guess for you, like people who are trying to train them, like what are the basic things that they need to I guess teach their dog to have a good quality life with them over their dog's lifetime?
Same thing as we need. Discipline, socialization, the ability to adapt, to be agile and be able to get over things, obstacles, you know, have manage your behavior. That's what people need. They need a dog that can.
But dogs aren't people though.
Same shit.
Yeah.
They need, you know, we need to be disciplined to wake up in the morning, go to work, go do this, go do that.
Like a dog doesn't need to do that.
Right, but they need their job is obedience. Their job is impulse control, not jumping on people, not you know, we can go rob banks. It's like a dog can go bite somebody, but they have to have the like social structure to know that that's not okay. You know, dog needs to be able to, you know, control itself in a lot of different type of situations, not be fearful, not be scared, not, you know, react based on the fear, because the confidence is instilled in there, because the dog's been desensitized and socialized and is comfortable not being, you know, weird and scary. You think about what's a racist. A racist is most of the time somebody who's scared, who's been conditioned to be, you know, hateful towards another person. You know, and a lot of times, you know,
dogs can learn the same things.
It's the lack of socialization.
Yeah.
You go take.
What do you mean by socialization?
Well, I mean, you put a Ku Klux Klan member and a Black Panther in the same room, and they get along. They can have a conversation. They can tolerate each other. They don't have to love each other. They can tolerate each other. Yeah. Same thing with dogs. They got to be able to tolerate everything. Yeah. You know, we got to be able to tolerate everything. You got to say somebody, I'll kill you. Okay, cool. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's talk. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna sit here and, you know, be overly like stressed out about somebody who's just running their mouth. You know what I mean?
That's something that I think we're missing though. That's lacking right now. Because for example, if you don't agree with a certain subject in something in a conversation at a bar or at an event that you don't know a lot of people, a lot of times like people are just like, oh, I'm not gonna be friends with you. Yeah. You know, I'm like, oh.
But that's bad socialization.
I was like, I thought we were cool, but that's cool.
Yeah.
Like I was like, you could believe different things. Like I could believe this is how you build muscle, and someone else could be like, this is how I build muscle. I'm like, okay.
That's it, bro. And you have to be able to say, all right, cool, that's your way. Yeah. Like don't go get in a fight about it. Yeah. You know, you be like, all right, cool. All right, cool, that's you. That's me.
Why do you think it's going? I don't know. I feel like it was going the other way. Now it's coming back. You know, in the sense of, people are thinking that it's not as okay to not have similar beliefs, and then they're like, oh, we need to have more similar beliefs. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I think that everybody's entitled to their own opinion. You know, people believe what they believe, and that's okay. I think it's okay to be, you know, figure out what you like and what you're about, and that's okay. And if you're not about what I'm about, that's okay. You know, we're not forced to be best friends. But we have to at least be able to have a dialogue. We could talk about it without getting mad at each other.
Yeah, what's the importance of that?
Emotionally charged. It's about emotional intelligence. You know, I think it's really about emotional intelligence. You have to be able to, you know, tolerate whatever's going around you. You have to be tolerant. You just can't flip out. You know what I mean? You're going to go to prison if you go kill somebody. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be able to control yourself. You know what I think? Same thing back to the dogs. You know, it just comes down to conditioning them to be able to be tolerant.
Do you have a favorite dog?
Nope.
No?
I like good dogs.
Like good dogs.
Good dogs with good temperaments. Cool ass dogs, just like
cool ass dogs.
Yeah. So I say I like.
But
cool ass
I guess do different breeds have like certain tendencies that you like? And like for example, golden retrievers, like there's something in their DNA that you throw a fucking ball, they bring it back to you. You know?
Right. They're retrievers.
Yeah. They're retrievers. Like, so, like, for example, like, you're like, oh, I like that type of dog. Like, is there any...
I mean, you know, for me, man, I'm just like one of the people, like, I accept things for what they are. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's not going to be hyper. Everybody's not going to be, you know, excited. Everybody's not going to be, you know what I mean? So I just take it as, like, face value. Like, I don't hate it. So I'm cool with it, as long as it's cool with me.
I love that.
You know? I'm not going to sit there and judge you because you're not doing what I'm doing. I don't care if you know what I mean? I got, like, one of my best friends is Vietnamese cat, Pat, right? And I know Pat, you know, he's a big guy, right? I love Pat. It's my
big
boy.
Vietnamese guy?
Yeah.
Like, strong?
No, like, heavy set.
Oh, okay.
And I know that he tries to work out and his body type is what it is, but it's like, I don't hang out with Pat because he's a big boy.
Yeah.
That's my dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, whatever Pat is on, I know he's a cool-ass motherfucker.
Yeah, I think you can learn things from people based on, like, what you admire about them. Because, like, for me, like, I like hanging out with people who I can learn from. And if that's not, like, from a fitness-wise or monetary-wise or business-wise, maybe it's just, like, an entertainment value. Like, you're really funny, bro. Like, I value that.
Yeah.
You know?
Or sometimes you just value their sincerity. Sometimes you just value, like, you know, when you can go, like for example, my boy Pat. He didn't have to buy my kid a 14 karat gold fucking dog with a spinning dog in. But that's just kind of guy he is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, when you go to eat, he's just like, nah, bro, I took care of it. He's like, bro, that's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I like just dealing with, like, generous. But I think that's the key, bro. How generous are you? Some people some people like generous because it gets them something. But how naturally generous are you?
Because I think it always comes back.
Yeah.
Like, if you are truly generous, like, you're always giving.
But it's not even about, like, it coming back. It's about just, like, don't even give a fuck that it comes back.
Yeah.
Like, here. Yeah. Just cause I appreciate you and I got love for you.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like, I feel like if you're generous all the time, though, like, something comes back. Not expecting it to.
It's always gonna come back.
Yeah.
Always.
Like, I feel like it's just like it's a overall positive. Like, if it doesn't come back, you still got the feeling of helping someone, and therefore it gave back.
And that's your feeling,
you know?
and that's your reward. Like,
Yeah, that's the
reward. It feels good to help people.
That's
and
the
feels
reward.
Good. And I think back to, like, my mission and, like, be able to help people with dogs. Like, that's my ability to, like, help people.
Yeah.
And help dogs. And it's like, as long as you're doing that, I'm fulfilled.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're making people's bodies look good. Like, you know, you're like, man, like, you're happy, you're feeling good, you got your six pack. I'm feeling good because you're feeling good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that's the name of the game, bro.
How do people stop, I guess, unconditioning themselves in general? Because, like, for example, some people could watch the 49ers every single game day, and, like, they're just obsessed with it because they've watched the 49ers game every Sunday since they were a toddler.
Counter condition.
Which is...
You have to do the opposite. It's not easy, but that's part of the discipline. You know, I say, well, you know what? Okay, I'm going to watch 15 minutes. And then I got to go read, or I got to go do this. Like, you know what I mean? You can change yourself. Like, people can change whatever they want about themselves. They just have to be, you know, disciplined about it.
Yeah, and they have to...
Willpower.
The desire.
Yeah, it has to be a good enough why.
Why?
Like, why are you stopping? Like, why are you working out? Why are you this? Why are you...
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What's your why?
Healthy for my children.
Before your kids.
Looking good and being operational. I mean, I'm 40, bro. You know, my dad is, you know, I just like being like a functional guy. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
you're a simple
like,
guy, bro.
Who wants to, like, have to, like, be all out of breath and can't run and can't lift anything and can't be like, you know, you got to push a car. You can't push it. You know what I mean? You got to, like, you know, it's like, I don't know, man. It's something just about being a man, bro. It's just, you know.
Every other unhealthy person wants one thing, to be healthy, right? Like, there's always some big enough why.
But do they really want to be healthy? Because if they're not healthy, then if they really wanted to be healthy, they'd be healthy.
Every really sick person wants to be healthy.
Do they?
I think so, because, like, when you're on your deathbed because you're so sick because you've, I don't know, smoked cigarettes all your life, you're like, fuck, I wish I was healthy.
Yeah, well, I mean, that just comes down. It's not like we didn't know that cigarettes kill you. You know what I mean? Like, it says on the pack, like, you will die.
It's pretty loud, but like, I don't know. It's back to the culture. I was like, oh, it's normal. It's cool.
It's just normal.
This.
Yeah, just normalizing stuff.
Like I remember smoking cigarettes, bro, when I was a sushi chef at one point, in community college, and everyone went outside and everyone just pulled out cigarettes and started smoking. I was like, oh, I guess this is what we do.
Right.
And I was like, I think a couple months later, I was like, why am I doing this? I was like, this makes no sense. And then I just stopped.
Can't be a follower, bro. That's all it comes down to. You got to do things because you want to do them.
Yeah.
You know, or you feeling it, and it's not like you're not being easily influenced.
And be a cool guy.
And be cool.
Yeah.
Gotta be cool.
Dude, I think that's all I had for you, bro. This has been a blast.
Awesome, bro. I appreciate you having me on.
Where could everyone find you, bro? And where can people find Cali K9?
Instagram at Cali K9. We have another page at Cali K9 Training, more for a business page. We have an app on the App Store, Android. Shit, man.
Do you do any more in-person training?
Yeah, I do VIP training. Just for me, my VIPs, because you know I got a lot of other shit too I could be doing. You know what I mean? As far as business.
Do you have like a in-person place?
Yes. We have a spot on Lancashire, right on North Hollywood.
Oh, right here.
Yeah. So I'm right up the street, 5015 Lancashire, in North Hollywood, and then I have 950 First Street in San Jose. But we'll
you got a couple.
moving that spot. Yeah, I have Bay Area and LA. So we started in the Bay Area, and I moved and opened one down here.
Oh, nice.
And then we're online, of course, on CaliK9.com.
Are you LA guy for a while?
Yeah, I'm chilling.
Yeah. What do you like about LA? More so than like
change, bro. Change. Yeah. I'm 40, bro. I've been in the Bay a long time. Like it's time for a change. You know? Yeah. I just new place.
New place.
You know, and it's a lot of. I mean, the production stuff is here, so I still get production opportunities. And
do you want to do like another show or anything like that?
Oh yeah, man. I love being on TV. That's my shit.
Yeah.
You know.
How did you get good at being in front of a camera?
By just being it.
Just doing it.
Yeah, like my videographer, I made a reality show in 2010.
Okay.
On YouTube. I was a YouTuber before they were YouTubers. And then Instagram came out, I stopped YouTubing like a dummy. So, yeah, bro, I just making commercials, making content, you know, always just being on camera and just being a personable guy.
Like your own content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just making shit.
What inspired you to do that?
Trying to get some clients, bro.
That's really it.
Yeah.
It's like you knew media was the thing.
Yeah, I just figured like, you know, people watching, I would get, I saw YouTube videos, I love them. Oh my God, you know, it's just like, oh shit. Like,
it works.
You fell in love with me, you know, because I gave you something to watch.
Yeah.
So the only thing I kick myself in the ass about is I should have kept going. Yeah, I should have kept going. I should have continued to be a YouTuber. What happened was the cost of production is expensive, as we all know, right?
Sure.
So
editors,
videographers, all that stuff. So it was like, instead of me learning how to edit or do the video or find somebody super cheap, I was just like, let me just do it myself with the social media, which has been fine. But now, you know, social media is getting tricky. Now everybody's realizing like how much content really matters, you know? So now everybody's like so much shit out there. So now you have to be crafty in how you get people to consume your content versus everybody else.
Because there's so much in the world.
There is a lot.
It's like, again,
I feel bad for a lot of the guys who are like just now getting started with shit. Cause like that's the struggle. Like I'm 15 years in the game. Yeah. You know, and it's like I already built this name. I've got a reputation. I've got this brand. So yeah, building a business, it's like easy, like you said. It's the easiest time, but it's the hardest because you're gonna have to work triple hard.
Yeah,
you know,
because I guess objectively it's just like, oh, I could get my LLC in a second now. Like I could have the bank account in a second.
Okay,
now.
And then what?
Yeah,
but just like Tate says, like people go legal and they haven't even made any money yet.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's like make some money, make an offer, get some leads, get some clientele in, and then start trying to figure out how to be official. Yeah, most people are all official and then they never pull the trigger. Yeah, they never make a sale. So it really is like, you know, there's this whole concept of you go shoot before you like aim. It's almost like you can't spend too much time like trying to like hit the bullseye perfect. Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta shoot. And then based on that shot that you shot, you'll see that it's like that was off to the left.
I was like, if you throw enough darts, you'll eventually hit the bullseye.
And you gotta throw darts. Yeah. But if you never throw a dart, then you're never gonna hit anything. And I think too many people are too critical about like their initial steps. And sometimes you just gotta step.
Fuck yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you take a fucking L, you take an L. And you just got to learn from it.
I feel like that's the biggest thing that a lot of people, including myself, like had. I was like, yo, the worst, like for a sale, what's the worst that I can say? No. It's like, I don't want it. That's the worst thing. Yeah. Like, if you could just keep trying. Like, you could keep doing all the marketing, this and that. All you're going to get to know.
Well, I look at it like, you know, I was big with picking up the ladies back in the day before I was married and everything, right? I switched over from picking up ladies into picking up sales and like getting clients.
Yeah.
Because it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, if you're not afraid of rejection, it's like, all right, what's the worst gonna happen? All right, go get another client. Get another lady. Go, walk down the street. You're in the mall. Go, who's next? You know, so the same thing goes with like clients. Like you have to be serious about like when it comes down to like getting rejected, you can't be afraid of that type of shit. You know, things like fear, rejection, these are big things in business, like fear of rejection and fear of like public speaking. Like you can't do those two. You're screwed. You know what I mean?
But there's a lot of guys who own businesses who you don't see their face at all.
Yeah, and they're killing themselves. Right? I mean, you know Tesla, right? But if you look at Tesla's page, probably has like a couple million. And then you look at Elon Musk, like 50 million. You know what I mean? It's like there's always, so when you put a face to a brand, you're you know, a lot of you in Hermosi, right? He says like he looked at like Conor McGregor and The Rock and Kylie Jenner. And she's a multi-billionaire.
Yeah.
You know, because she's got that face value.
That brand, yeah.
That brand.
And he was like, I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah. And then he says, well, why wouldn't I do it? And he asked another guy who was another big guy in the game. And he says, like, oh, why don't you worry about people coming to your house? He's like, not that much.
Dean
not to where.
Yeah,
Dean, exactly. Yeah. So when you have those kind of like realities, you're like, bro, like, why would you not be your face? Why would you not make your face the brand? Why would you be scared of like?
I think it's where it's going, like everywhere now, because like the personal brands, like people fall in love with, and they get the skill quicker.
Yeah.
Versus like a school too. Like imagine there's someone who's just an expert at dog training. Like why would someone go to psychology school? Then I want to learn how to train dogs.
Right.
So learning about dogs,
go direct.
Go direct.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to Cali K9.
And the thing is, I mean, you think about college, bro. I mean, that's a whole business within itself. You know what I mean? Like that's one thing I was always like, why do I have to do these prerequisites?
Yeah, I was like,
to do the shit that I want to do.
Yeah, I studied math for the longest time, which is like I feel basic math is really good for business, but I was doing like differential equations and calculus and all this stuff, and I was just like, I haven't used it once.
What it does, it makes a guy like me hire a guy who's like really smart.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't know shit about math, but I got the smartest guy to do math now. He could be my architect or engineer.
Yeah.
Now I got a super smart guy working for me. So that's the thing. That's like anti-entrepreneurship. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like getting too technical.
There's a beauty about that too. Yeah.
About what?
There's a beauty about getting really good at that, expert in the field in mathematics or cars or this and that, blah, blah.
No, you need experts.
What do you love about cars? Before we close up, I forgot.
You know, it's dopamine.
Dopamine?
It's the feel. It's the turning it on. It's the taking that ride. It's the hitting the gas, switching those gears.
Yeah.
You know, and then you put it up and you don't drive it again for, a couple of weeks and you do it again, so I like that about it. I mean, I'm always, moving a little faster than the speed of traffic. I mean, I like comfort.
That's hard. That's hard to fucking do in LA, bro. You can't really go
Not
fast.
in the valley, bro. I stay in the valley.
Oh, you have open road out there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm out here. It's like it's not the same. Like I don't have to like I live over here. My business is over here. Yeah. So I might jump on like 170. It might be a little slow up. I jump on a carpool lane. I'll be all right. I got tents. You know what I mean?
They don't know.
They don't know. So yeah, bro. I just like to roll, bro. I just.
What does driving do?
Driving just kind of like frees my mind up a little bit.
Like, do you drive just like for fun sometimes?
Yeah. Sometimes I just take a ride because it's just sometimes we call it bend the corner, right? You just go hit bend the block.
Where do you go?
I just wherever I am. I mean, right around the house, but I'll burn a little rubber.
Yeah.
Make a little noise with my engine roaring and go put my car up before the police find me.
Is it?
But I just enjoy the car, man. Enjoy the toy.
Yeah.
That's what it is, man. Big kids, man. Enjoy your toys.
Yeah, especially if you put all the work in to achieve the toys.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, shit, man. Enjoy your life. Enjoy it, man.
And be cool.
And be cool, man. Be cool.
Build the systems.
Be as cool as you can, man.
Thanks, brother. Go check Cali K9 out. Go check Jas out, guys. And we'll see you in the next one.
All right, y'all.
If you made it this far, thank you so much for tuning back into the Nate Biltz Podcast. Also, if you could do me a favor, if you received any value out of this episode, please take the time to like and subscribe to the show. My goal is to keep growing this podcast and bring you the most creative and talented humans in the world. Pressing that little button will help me do just that.